Hello everyone and welcome back to the Triple Crown Wargaming Studio, where you join me the Lawmaster, him the Duke,
hello,
and him the Chieftain,
hi,
for another instalment in our Deep Dive series. That's right, we're back with another video dedicated to the competitive analysis of every army book and supplement in Warhammer Fantasy 8th edition. Now in this video we're going to break down the Empire and Chaos offerings from the Tamurkhan supplement. Max will show you the very beaten up Tamurkhan supplement I have.
For his second appearance.
It's very beaten up. It is its second appearance.
Yeah. Scott wasn't here for the first time.
You won actually.
No, for the cast off bit, no.
Ah.
Now there are
I didn't remember it.
there are a selection of units and special characters across 3 factions in this book, and in this video we're going to put all of them through our dedicated competitive rating system. So if you're looking for the ultimate guide to those Tamurkhan units, then you've come to the right place. Now, unlike an army book deep dive, this video will be a little bit different to some of them, some of the others we've done rather. So I'm going to explain how we're going to break this one down. To start with, we will outline how our rating system works. Some of you will skip this, but we're going to do it anyway. Next, we're going to go through the Empire special characters and new units. Then we're going to go through the Chaos special characters and new units, and then finally we'll take a look at some sample army lists, both of which we're going to put through our competitive composition framework, the Triple Crown Wargaming comp system. So without any further ado, I think we should get started. So once again, we're here to give you a brief explanation or recap, if you've seen our earlier deep dives, on how our rating system works. So firstly, we divide every unit in an army book or supplement into its battlefield roles. Now this creates a system that accurately represents how competitive a unit is at its job. So just because a unit won't kill 50 models a game doesn't mean it isn't competitive, just means that's not its job. The battlefield roles are as follows. You have battle line units, the regiments that form the fighting line of your armies. You have flanking units, those shock units designed, unsurprisingly, for hitting enemies in the flank in support of your battle line. You have ranged units, so that's those threats that offer kind of dedicated shooting. Obviously. You've got chaff units, so that's those models that are used for hitting lone targets like war machines or sacrificing for battlefield advantage. You have support units, those uniquely Warhammer units that offer buffs or damage unlike anything else. And then finally you have special characters, what it says on the tin.
Pretty much.
So there are 15 different criteria for scoring, however each of the battlefield roles are scored on the 6 criteria which are most relevant to them. We'll outline which criteria are used for each battlefield role, and the full details of how it's all broken down can be found on the ratings page of triplecrownwargaming.com. There's a link posted below, I believe, under these videos. It's pretty in-depth stuff, but it's well worth checking out if you want to understand this content that little bit better. Now, each of those 6 criteria are worth 4 points, giving you a score out of 24 for each unit that we discuss. The higher that score, the better it is at doing its job. So in this video we've only got 2 battlefield roles we're going to cover, which are flanking units and special characters, so I'm just going to explain the criteria for those 2 before we get started. So flanking units are scored on the strength of their attacks, the number of attacks, their special rules, their manoeuvrability, their survivability and their cost. And special character units are scored on their output, their special rules, their synergy, their risk, their survivability and their cost. And as ever, I'll finish up by saying a handy tip in general is if something scores 18 or more, it is pretty strong. So with all of that established, some of you have frantically pressed skip. Let's get stuck into those Empire units and special characters. Okay, so we have got 1 new unit and 5 special characters in this Tamurkhan supplement.
Tamurkhan?
It's Tamurkhan E.
Like Carney, yeah?
Remember these chili Tamurkhan.
Good start here.
Remember, you need to check out the Empire Deep Dive so that you can see all of the other units that you can use with these models. Start thinking about how you're going to fit them into your existing Empire army lists. So we have just got that 1 flanking unit, which is the Marienburg class land battleship, and then 5 special characters. Theodore Bruckner, Leopold the Black, Captain Edvard van der Krau and Mannen's Blades, they're getting trickier, Magistrex Elspeth von Draken, and Castellan Engineer Jubal Falk, and the Nuln Ironsides. Worked very hard there. That's me.
So you have to
A lot of
start
syllables
with, yeah,
there.
to start with old Edvard.
I did. Let's begin our voyage then with that one flanking unit. Let's sail the high seas, guys, with the Marienburg
It's got
class
wheels!
land battleship. In a very real sense,
So does it-
sailing the high seas is not what it's for.
So does an amphibious car.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah. It's the amphibious car of Warhammer. You heard it here first. It gets a whopping 20 out of 24. That's no joke.
Yeah, that's really
I mean, it is a boat on
It
wheels.
is good. So we get there with a 4 for strength attacks, a 4 for number of attacks, a 4 for special rules, 2 for manoeuvrability, let's sit down a little bit, 4 for survivability, and 2 for cost. It is a big score, but this is a steam tank in disguise. Let's not forget.
It's a wooden steam tank.
It's
yes, basically.
it's a cheap knockoff. I could make that from wood. Shall we have a little look at? It's got a raft of special rules, if you will.
It's not as bad as a steam tank.
No, it's not.
At least I won't be saying steam every 3 seconds
Yeah.
at this point in time. So, where do you want me to
Should
start?
we start with stats very quickly?
It's that. So, the land ship
Because
has
there's none.
Yeah.
land ship has a movement of a star, weapon skill with a skill of
Dash.
strength toughness 6, 12 wounds,
12.
initiative attacks, and leadership of dash.
Yeah.
Let me. Oh, and it's got initiative of the crew, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it can avoid the purple
It
sun.
can, yeah. It's
Uh,
unique as well.
Yeah. Crew had weapon skill, no movement, weapon skill of 3, weapon skill of 3, strength of 4 for the crew.
Ooh.
I mean,
You
yeah.
try carrying anchors.
That's what you have got. You have
Bulked.
got to be pirate to do, haven't you?
Stronger than a greatsword.
Toughness of 0, no wounds, initiative 3. They have D6 attacks, and it's leadership 7.
I was going to say they have a leadership, otherwise you just spirit leech it and it dies.
Yes. Its troop type is unique.
Yeah.
So, although it says at some point it uses the same general rules as a chariot,
Yes,
does that
there
mean,
are some exceptions.
does that mean that stuff that says it affects chariots does not affect this?
Yes, that's correct, because it's not a chariot.
It's not a chariot, it
It's
just
unique.
uses the rules of, a lot of the rules
So,
of
like the
chariots.
screaming bell that does a strength 7 hit to all chariots on the
No,
board.
it
No,
does,
that's
it's not
a
chariots,
strength
it's
seven.
any model that with a toughness
Strength
7.
10 hit for anything that's toughness 7.
Yeah.
Okay. There are stuff
Which
that
it still wouldn't affect, 'cause it's only toughness 6.
yeah, there are stuff that is chariot. Sorry, Beastmen have one that affects chariots.
Yeah, not
So no,
a
it
Marienburg
wouldn't
class landship, though.
No,
Land
no,
battleship.
that's it.
Thank you.
So that's its stat wise. That's its stats and its troops type. Special rules, it has base, baked in, unbreakable, fear, and impact hits D6.
Just, I like the
Very
fact
solid.
that it's not terrifying. Someone's looked at it and gone, it's made of wood, so it's less scary.
I think I could take it.
It's a lot bigger than the steam tank as well. I'd be more
Yeah.
terrified of that.
It's
Yeah.
I think I can have it. Ah!
Um,
So, and
it's
then,
got a lot of weird and wonderful rules
yes,
and equipment.
So, the first one is culverin. This is a type of light cannon installed in the prow of the land ship after the inclusion of larger ordnance proved disastrous. The culverin is treated exactly as a standard cannon. See page 112 Warhammer Rulebook. That fires directly ahead, except that it's strength 7 when firing normally, and its grape shot attack is only strength 3. Otherwise, all the normal rules for cannon apply.
It's a strength 7 cannon, basically.
I like the fact they say 4 cannon, not for a cannon, just 4 cannon.
The next part, however,
So the land ship may still move and fire the culverin. They may even fire it if engaged in combat.
that's my favourite part.
Contrary to the usual rules, but can only nominate a target point in the unit in base contact with the land ship's front.
Trial, you can shoot something behind the unit and kill it.
If the
You
weapon
can
is
just grape shot whatever you're in combat with as well.
yeah.
It's hideous.
Artillery dice number D have strength 3 hits or shots.
Get it in the flank of like a stick of monstrous cav. I'd be like, yep.
I'll nominate the end of my barrel.
If the weapon is destroyed by misfire result, the land ship is also immediately suffers D3 wounds with no armor save or ward save possible.
So it's destroyed if it rolls a misfire.
So if the weapon is destroyed, the land ship also, So you
Yeah,
do
so
lose
the weapon's
cover.
lost and then you take.
Alright, okay.
So
That's a shame.
it's not quite as good as the steam tank in that regard.
It's still a cannon. Strength 7 is still enough to do.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's good.
it's
There's still no
solid.
armor saves because cannons are no
Yeah.
armor saves. So
Yeah.
Are they
Still
no
mark
armor
wounds
saves?
D6.
Yeah.
Are they
yeah,
still
that's why the
armor
warp lightning cannon when it's strength 2 is still no armor
Yeah.
saves?
save.
I thought that was in its rules.
No,
The warp
no,
lightning.
it's a cannon.
Ah,
Cannon's rules.
okay.
Nice.
Anyway, moving on, we also have the fusillade. The deck crew, along with the complex operation of piloting the ship and avoiding imminent catastrophes, such as toppling over or the boiler exploding, do their best in battle to let fly with a number of sweepers, deck pistols, and handguns laid on and loaded for purpose.
That's cool! That's cool!
In addition to firing the culverin, in each shooting phase, the landship can fire a fusillade at a single target in any direction. This does not need to be the same target as which the ship's culverin is firing.
360 arc as well.
Yeah, this generates D6 shots that use the following profile: 18-inch range, strength 4, armor piercing.
So they're like
18-inch
a
range handgun.
short range handgun, but to be fair, they are really never going to hit.
No.
Unlike the culverin, though, the fusillade cannot be used if a landship is engaged in combat. The deck crew are too busy repelling boarders. Arr!
You're so pleased with yourself. I love it.
Oh, it's just good.
Its next rule is my favourite named rule.
So yes, the 2 shooting attacks, which is quite nice.
Yeah, solid.
I always thought there was a row of guns just on there as well.
No, there isn't. No.
That's sad.
No.
So the next rule we have is the wonder of the age.
Da, 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 da.
Something of a poor imitation of a true steam tank in terms of sophistication. It's a ship on wheels. How's it lacking in sophistication?
I just like to think there was an engineer in Marienburg that was like, get me some wheels. I'm just looking at that boat in the dry dock and I've got a wild idea.
The landship.
It's like they've been sent a dodgy fax of a steam tank and gone, yeah, that's probably what that means.
The landship does at least have size and ambition in its favour. From its bulky armoured and over-decorated hull to its oversized life-threatening boiler and a steerage mechanism that can only be described as the fruits of an unhinged mind.
The full books are another level, aren't they, of enjoyment?
They had a lot of fun with this. Where am I?
All of this is just for it to get to the bottom.
Yeah,
Honestly,
for one
all
line
of
of
this
rule.
is for one line of rules.
In battle, the landship is an insane sight, almost a mobile fortress in effect, towering over the battlefield, discharging its thunderous gun and crushing the enemy underfoot while its crew remain almost safe high on deck above. That is when it works and the wheels don't fall off, or the boiler explodes, or the magazine catches fire.
Any of those things are a concern.
So, the landship uses the same general rules as a chariot. Except where noted in the following section.
That is all of the rules.
That's it.
That was for.
Moving the landship. The landship, lacking anything like the control of a steam tank, has 2 modes of movement: slow power and full power. The player must declare which they're using before the landship is moved each turn. Measure all distances for the landship from the front edge of its wheels.
Yeah, because I don't think
The
they
front
supplied.
wheels?
Yeah, they didn't supply it with the base.
Okay.
So obviously for our events, you would need to put it on a chariot base.
base.
It probably fits.
Would
on.
it fit on
Yeah.
a chariot
If
base?
it doesn't, you'd have to
Yeah.
go big.
I mean, the wheels would be too wide on the back end.
Possibly.
Oh, they might
need to be
overhang.
a terraglass base then.
Maybe. Seeing the model, I'm not sure they would overhang. The edges of the wheels might overhang, but I reckon you
Yeah,
could
probably
get like
get it on.
the inner bits of it on.
But appropriate base.
Anyway, so slow power. The landship may move 6 inches directly forward without penalty or risk, but may not charge.
Okay.
It's alright, you just push
Yeah.
it 6 inches forward.
Full power. The player may pivot the landship in any direction in its front arc and in any direction in its front arc.
So it's not random movement.
It's not random movement in the same
It
So
only
you-
gets to move sort of 45 degrees either way.
either way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Odd.
Yeah. It's before random mover was a thing, wasn't it?
No, this came out in 8th edition.
Oh.
It's just that the army.
just a poor random
It's just the army books themselves didn't come out in 8th edition.
So it's before the Empire Army book, but
Yeah.
you can't pivot it on the spot basically. But
Yeah.
I mean that doesn't really make a lot of sense on something like this.
No, it doesn't.
So I don't mind the fact
Yeah.
that it's only front arc.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, so then you, in this front arc, roll 2d6 for the distance it travels. The first unit contacted by it counts to have been charged. Friendly units suffer impact hits, but no combat is actually fought. However, if a double 1 or double 6 is rolled, something has gone disastrously wrong. Roll immediately on the landship calamity chart and apply the result.
Oh dear.
So, the landship calamity chart, you roll a
I
d6.
can't believe we're still doing this.
Yeah. Alright, you roll a 1. It's abandoned ship. With an appalling cracking sound, the main axle snaps, spars shatter, and the wheels are crushed, dumping the ship unceremoniously to the ground in an almighty crash. The landship is destroyed, but is left on the table as a area of dangerous terrain. Any unit in base contact when this happens suffers D6 strength 8 hits.
Ooh.
As it is.
Randomly strength 8.
Yeah.
Not the strength 6 of the ship.
No, I mean, it's falling on you.
If you roll a 2 to 3, it's Arrgh! The boiler backfires, sending the landship hurling forward. The landship moves the roll distance an additional D6, as well as suffering D3 wounds and no arm saves or ward saves.
I don't mind that.
No, it's not bad.
No. 4 to 5 is all hands to the wheel. the land ship slews perilously out of control, roll scatter dice and move the ship the distance rolled in a direction shown on the dice. If hits is rolled, the crew managed to drop the emergency anchor and the land ship remains stationary.
Drop the emergency anchor.
And if you roll a 6, it's
God.
boom. Between the overpressurised boiler and the powder magazine, the land ship explodes in a spectacular fireball. Everything within D6 inches of the land ship's hull suffers a strength 6 hit, and the land ship is destroyed and removed from play.
So this is another one of those beautiful times. Everything within, every model, every unit. What is it?
I'd have to say it'd be every model.
I'm going to say every model as well.
model.
So
Rather than hull, it would be base.
you've heard it here first, guys. Every model.
Hey, D6 inches ain't bad, ain't a long distance, but
No,
strength
massive.
If it gets in combat.
massive splinters siving through throats. Awful.
Right, so the land ship in combat. The land ship inflicts impact hits just as a chariot would when it charges. If locked in combat, it may inflict a thunderstorm attack against a single enemy unit on each of its own player turns as its engine grinds it forward. So you can't do it on your enemy's turn.
So similar to the steam tank's
tank,
grind,
yeah.
you only do it on your turn. Not the end of the world.
In addition, the crew generates D6 attacks of their own, each round using the profile shown, generally jabbing down with spears, shooting people in the face, and throwing things from the high deck.
Wow.
Shooting people in the face.
If I kill someone with that, I'm going to shout. Yeah.
And then damage the last rule.
Damaging.
Damaging the land ship. The land ship is massive, bulky contraption. It's covered in decorative work, armor placing, and a whole host of other things not entirely germane to its continued function. Its high wounds value represents a good combination of the overall damage needed to wreck the structure or kill off the crew. This difficulty inflicts telling damage, also represented by the land ship's 3+ armor save and a war save of 6. Additionally, when the land ship loses its last wound, roll D6. On a roll 1, it suffers the effect of the abandoned ship result. On a roll of 6, you take the boom result. Any other roll on the land ship is just removed as normal.
Okay, so even if you kill it normally, it can
It
still
can
explode.
explode, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or fall over.
Or fall over.
And that is
Or
it.
list lazily. Wow.
That is it.
So a lot to talk about.
The boat is cool.
It's a lovely model.
It's 300 points as well, which
Yes.
is the one thing we
Yeah,
haven't said at this
300
junction, and it is rare choice. So it's competing with your steam tanks, which is tough for it.
And your web wagons.
Yeah. So what have I got here that's good? You still have that sort of pseudo random move. That is the only way it can charge, but it isn't dreadful. It does mean that it's more able to be redirected than a steam tank.
Conventional
but
random
it's ultimately that it can still be railroaded anyway. So what does it?
Yeah.
What does it really matter in those terms? The light cannon is still really good, and you can shoot it in combat, which is amazing.
Yeah.
The thunderstomp attack is nice, but it does fear cavalry. This one, it does fear cavalry.
It's got to kill it with its impact hits. You've
Uh,
got D6 strength 4
D6
attacks.
strength 4 attacks. It's not
Yeah,
bad.
so
You've
light
got
cavalry
something.
aren't going to take it out. Really.
Yeah. But with the whole redirect railroading thing, you do have the D6 sort of pseudo handgun shots
Yeah,
to
you
help
do.
out with that.
And most
And you
light
put it
cav
between
only
your units.
Yeah.
have like a 5 up 6 of them.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
you're not
so
going to have any against him.
Yeah, they're going to struggle.
I also like the idea of a horse trying to board a ship.
Yeah, it's a bit silly. I mean, overall though, 6-up ward save I think is really nice actually.
Yeah.
It does mean it's actually more survivable than a steam tank against a cannon. I know that sounds really silly and people are going to be rolling their eyes at me at home, but it is.
Yeah, the steam
ultimately,
tank gets no
it is.
save. This gets a
A
6-up.
6-up, and
it's got 12 wounds.
a dozen wounds. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
It's a 4 or 5 cannon problem at this point in time.
yeah, it becomes really difficult to shift it off the table.
Probably 4 cannons, because you've got 3 cannons will just about do the wounds, if you're a touch over on the average, but then you'll probably save one of them with a ward.
Yeah.
So you've got to feel like that's a 4 cannon
Strength
problem.
5 infantry would be an issue for this thing. Probably.
Strength 5 cav will be an issue for it,
Yeah.
because the infantry will just...
Yeah,
stand
strength 5 infantry. It's still got a 5-up, 6-up, and they're fast
Yeah,
to
it's not
wound
bad.
it.
Yeah. I understand that's where it starts to get into danger.
Cavalry charging it, that's where it struggles, because they've probably got lances.
Iron guts.
Or iron guts, yeah.
Yeah,
Anything
I mean,
monstrous
you
also
don't want to be
doesn't
putting it into
particularly
those, certainly in the front, but you wouldn't really want to put a steam tank in the front of them either, if I'm being honest.
Not really.
I wouldn't
I
be
mean,
charging
no.
it.
it's,
Iron guts.
as it says here, it is a poor imitation of a true steam tank in terms of sophistication. So
Yeah.
I think they are.
They're good against the same sort of things, really.
Yeah, but steam tank gets the grind, doesn't it? That's the only difference between it.
This gets thunderstorm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't have to generate steam points for the Thunderstorm.
No,
that's crucial.
You don't have to roll me. You don't have to
It
roll
can't go
this
wrong when you're in combat.
The thing with the steam tank, when it gets low on wounds,
I think it can still fire its cannon.
when it gets low on wounds, it does start to struggle to actually generate the damage.
Yeah.
Because you start going, well, I've got to avoid the misfire. I can lose more steam points, and actually you get to a place where you're like, I'm just getting very few. I'm probably only going to get D3 hits off my grind, and actually this is doing D6 Thunderstorm. So
when it gets down to certain amount of wounds, that's when the steam tank's engineer goes, it's been a pleasure serving with you, and it's over pressurised that boy.
Oh, I don't know. Yes. I like the fact that that's you and me. I'm like, I'm going to generate 1 steam point.
James next to me on the table, I'm generating 1 steam point max. I want to generate 5 steam points!
Can I generate more? Is there a way for me to do more?
But no, it's alright. It's cool. It has the themes.
It's got a 20. It's a great score.
Yeah, it's a really good score.
Like, I think it's big. The big concession for it is, would I take it over a steam tank? No,
probably not.
No. And that's where it falls short. It's actually really good. I wouldn't take it over a steam tank. If I was doing a really cool themed army, Marienburg, if I was doing...
Would I take it in a Highlander Empire army with a steam tank?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's gonna be a Marienburg
Trying to find a
class
Marienburg.
land battleship.
Making a shopping trip down to Marienburg.
Purchasing later. Okay, so let's get stuck in. That's our only flanker for the Empire, and that was a long one. These will be less long. We're going to move on to the
Short
characters.
the word you're looking
We're
for.
gonna start with the less long Theodore Bruckner.
The Hand of Judgment, the Titan Headsman, champion unknown.
I love the art in these books.
Yeah.
I love how good they look.
Although I'm not a fan of how his demigriff looks. Demigriff that's not a demigriff.
Yeah.
It looks...
I mean, demigriff, it's just Reaper the demigriff.
Yeah, but it's not a demigriff because they didn't exist.
It's like a 3/4 griff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Very much so.
3/4 griff. So this
Good job.
lad comes in with a 12 out of 24. Not great.
No.
Unfortunately.
4 for output. He's got a lot of output. He does. 2 for special rules. Not great. No synergy points. Huge.
He does nothing.
Really poor. 1 for risk because you've got to throw him in. He's reasonably survivable. He's got a 3 there and a 2 for cost because he is not cheap. He's about the right cost, but he's not cheap. So he's got a slew of
stats or rules?
Let's start with some of the basics. He's a captain of the Empire. He's a general of the Empire.
Yeah.
The difference is he's weapon skill 6 instead of weapon skill 5, and he has an additional point of strength.
And skill 4 instead of skill 5.
He loses a point of ballistic skill.
He does have a pistol.
Yeah, so that's actually a pain.
It might make a difference.
Yes, but he is strength 5, so he's as strong as a great sword throwing their weapons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so he gets a point of strength and a point of weapon skill, loses a point of ballistic skill.
A good
loses
trade-off, I
attack.
would suggest.
He doesn't, because
No.
Captain of the Empire's only got 3. What he doesn't
General.
have,
A
a General of the Empire.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go, 3. Okay.
The difference in a Captain and a General is 3rd wound.
Okay.
And I think a
weapon
point of
skill.
leadership. No, they're both 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's shit.
Yeah, it's not great. I think it's a point of leadership and a wound.
Grandmasters have got the extra.
Grandmaster's got the better stuff, yeah. And he's not a Grandmaster.
No, he's not.
He also doesn't have, because the book was written pre the Empire Army book, he doesn't have Hold the Line.
No.
Not that he could use it actually, because he can't join a unit because he's on a
Because
monster.
he's on a monster.
But it's annoying.
He could if the monster gets killed under him.
Yeah, so it's annoying.
Well, it
that
would have been
he
nice
can't
to
Oh,
have
you
it.
can kill Reaper, can't you? You can kill Reaper.
Yeah,
so.
Reaper's a monster. He's underwhelming. Movement 7. Strength. Weapon skill 5 is good. Strength 5. Toughness 5. He's all right.
4 wounds.
4 wounds.
Initiative
Initiative 5. 4 attacks. Armor piercing.
I'm a piercing, yeah.
No save.
No.
Dreadful.
Got a thunderstomp.
Yeah, he's literally a griffin that doesn't fly. He's a high elf griffin that doesn't fly, which is the worst sort of griffin. then cut his wings off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's poor. He's poor.
So we're going to rules then.
Let's have a look at his special rules.
So-
he did get 2 for them. So what?
Yeah, so special rule wise, Bruckner's only special rule is the Hand of Judgment. Bruckner is a judicial champion unknown and the Countess's headsman, a figure hated and grudgingly respected in equal measure. While a feared warrior, given his grim demeanour and single-minded devotion to his craft, he is no leader of men. As a result, Bruckner cannot be the army's general under any circumstance, and so a force containing him will need to include another character to lead it. In any turn in which Bruckner fights in a challenge, though, he has the Unbreakable special rule.
See, I've got some notes. I've always got notes. Terror, good. Unbreakable in a challenge, great. Should be a higher score than 2 for special rules. Then he can't be a general. Massive kick in the teeth likely means your general is leadership 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to dock him points.
Because he's
I had to dock him.
335 points, I think.
Yeah.
So he's taken up like half your Lord slot, basically.
Well, you could put a
Yeah.
Templar. You could put a leadership 9 in. A Templar would fit a.
But then you're not getting a wizard.
No, and so would an Archlector. But then you haven't got a Lord Wizard. So, massively rubbish. Yeah, massively rubbish.
So yeah,
Sorry.
That's the rule ruins him, to be honest.
Yeah, it really ruins him.
Reaper itself has terror, large target, slashing claws, which is arm piercing.
Large target would be great because it'd give him a. Oh no, way he can't be a general.
Yeah.
Give him an 18-inch leadership 9 bubble.
Yeah, but he can't be a
At
general.
that time. So magic items, he has Liar's Bane, which is his sword. So rolls to wound and hit with Liar's Bane are a +1.
Really good.
That's
At
really
strength
good.
5.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really
That is
good.
really good.
We like that.
Big fan.
Storm Lance, magic weapon, 1 use. Weird.
Yeah.
The weapon it counts as a lance in all respects, but in addition, its attacks have killing blow.
So I think the idea of it being 1 use, it's got like a bit of sort of explosive meteorite on the end. So when he charges and uses it, it sort of explodes. That's the killing blow. And then he can't use it. It just sort of shatters.
I mean, in real war, lances are 1 use.
Yes.
But God, that would make heavy cavalry terrible.
Yeah.
Hey, Bretonian is rubbish.
Yes.
So
Now we have better lances.
a wizard did it in Warhammer.
Yeah.
So everyone's fine.
So, and then his last item is the Bale Flame Amulet. So, the amulet provides Bruckner with a fire ward save. In addition, if Bruckner is slain by a model in base contact, that model then immediately suffers D6 wounds, no armor save, throws, or regeneration possible. This attack has no effect if Bruckner is slain in any other circumstance.
So if you do chop him up in combat, you're taking D6 wounds.
Yeah, you very possibly could die.
Which means
Not bad.
where I want to use him is like, oh, you've got a Bloodthirster. Boop! Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then you roll a 1.
Yeah, probably.
But no, he's,
Cradrian used to do
I
that,
mean,
and I remember killing a Bloodthirster with Cradrian with that rule.
He's a beat stick, just straight down. He's a beat stick.
he is a fighter, and the ward saves are a nice trick I've got on here. The monster's really poor though.
Yeah.
4 wounds, toughness
monster's
5, no
very
save, not great. That you can only go so far with someone like this.
The Unbreakable in a challenge is nice because what a lot of people do with rid of monsters particularly is if they charge in, they'll go, oh, I'll challenge with my champion.
Yeah.
And then
Cheers, mate.
yeah, that's fine. I'll be I've beaten you on static res. That's awesome. I'm unbreakable. Next turn I'm gonna rip your unit apart.
Do you know what? He's only initiative 4 as well, and
Yeah.
actually Captain the Empire is initiative 5, I think. No, they won't. They'll be 4 as well, won't they? Yeah, ignore me. Yeah, they would be 4 because they're not an elf. So
No, they're not an elf.
yeah, still not great though, that initiative.
No.
I mean, not for a character.
No.
Yeah, not great. You got. But let's move on. 12 really lays it out.
Yeah. Poor.
Let's improve slightly.
Who we got to next?
We've got Leopold the Black, who rides in with a competitive score of 14 out of 24.
Better.
Look at that smugness.
He does look very smug in
If
his artwork.
smugness and a really nice model were
Yeah, he does look
were
nice model.
rating points, he would be a 26 out of 24. but neither are, sadly, and as a result, he is only 14. We get a 3 for his output. We get a 3 for his special rules, 2 for synergy, which is good for a choppy character. 1 for risk, 3 for survivability, and again 2 for cost. 245 points. This bad boy, about right.
Yeah.
What do you think about on the button?
Leopold the Bloody, Leopold the Butcher, Leopold the Liar, Leopold Turncloak, Leopold the Thright-Cursed, and the Coin-Bought Prince, etc.
Yeah, he is.
Cetera.
He's a bit of a mercenary. This.
I mean,
Yeah.
Leopold the Black, as he styled himself, although a number of far less complimentary epithets have been commonly applied to by former allies and tavern balladeers alike.
Basically, no one likes this guy.
No.
No, not really.
That's the sort of idea.
So if we have a look at him again, he's a general of the Empire. Exactly the same stats, except instead of being weapon skill 5, he is a whopping weapon skill 7.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bit mad.
Really good.
Really good weapon skill.
Really good.
He's also initiative 5,
Yep.
not initiative 4.
Yeah,
So
so that does help.
he is an elf.
He's a fighter, this guy.
Yeah, he is a real fighter.
And it really helps with his equipment.
Yeah.
So if we take a look at what he's got going on.
Where am I going first? Special rules
should we
or
do
weapon?
special rules?
Special rules. So he has the Blessings of Leith. Leopold has spent a fortune in spells and enchantments, sourced from the most dubious and sinister practitioners, and cast them about his person to further his life. Maintain his youth and protect him from harm, no matter the cost. Such as the precarious... Excuse me.
Should have paid for some air treatment. Bald. You get a cold head.
I hear a certain ex-footballer could probably help him out with that.
Wow. Such is the precarious
Not that
balance...
being bald is a problem.
No, it's
just
not
that
an
he's
issue.
going to have a cold head.
Such is the precarious
Doesn't have a
balance
helmet either.
of these magics, however, he risks agony and insanity if they fail. Leopold has a 3-up ward save. But should he fail this save, then from Leopold players' next turn onward, the magic is disrupted, the save no longer applies, and Leopold suffers a -2 penalty to toughness and leadership.
So he becomes toughness 2 and leadership
7.
7.
He's 9, which helps, but
Yeah.
that is a real kick in the teeth. And
Yes.
I've put here, I gave him, what have I put here? I did put something here. I've docked him 1 point from his survivability for the impact of failing that ward save. I mean, he's got a good armour save, he's got full play armour, he's on a barded steed, so he's got a 2 up. And he would...
I don't think he's got a shield.
Yeah, the shield.
Oh, he does.
He
He's
has
got
a shield.
1 up, so he gets 2 points for that. He's toughness 4, he's got a 3 up ward save, which would be worth 2, he's got loads.
I think he might have a great weapon. No, his magic weapon I think is a great weapon.
No, it's not.
Oh,
No, it's not.
No, it's
okay,
not.
fair enough.
So again, you look and go, he's actually really survivable. But the reason I gave him a 3 is that whole fouls of ward save takes a really bad hit.
Loses the ward save, and then becomes
Loses
significantly
toughness.
easier to win.
Yeah. So not great there. Big kick, but
Then we have Murderous Charge.
really good.
Leopold and any unit he has joined gains the extra attack roll on the turn they charge.
This is where he gets basically all his synergy from, because he can buff a unit and it actively combats a big weakness of the army, which is low number of attacks.
Yeah.
This does not
Everything's got
apply
one
to
attack.
cavalry mounts though. So.
Doesn't apply to the
To the
mounts,
mounts,
yeah.
but
but it
applies
does
to
apply to the
cavalry models.
riders. So
Yeah.
you stick him in a unit nicely in a circle, or the stubborn ones you can take
Right guard.
right guard, thank you, and because they're just nicely in a circle, they're stubborn.
Yeah.
And you get a second attack on all of them, which is amazing at strength 6.
Yeah,
really
really good.
strong. So like that.
Dark Renown. That's just a blurb again. So I read it. It might
No,
be
That's the rule that lets him take a core unit.
No.
No. So Dark Renown. So
Oh no, it is. Yeah.
Leopold
Sorry. It's
must
loaded
be the
before it.
general of any army in which he is included in.
Probably going to be most of the time anyway. Yeah. Leadership 9.
Yep. In addition, no Grand Master, Warrior Priest of any kind, steam tanks, the Emperor Karl Franz, or any named elect account may be included in the army.
Okay, so this is really terrible. Really
Yes.
terrible.
Yeah.
And in addition to it being really terrible, it's also another really vague one. No Warrior Priest of any kind, which would
Suggest it means
suggest it means Archlector. Luther Huss would be another obvious one. And Volkmar the Grim.
Yeah.
Which is how we would rule it at an event. But again, thanks, Forgeworld.
Can't take Big Carl.
Can't take
I mean,
Carl,
Big
can't
Carl's
take
not a
Marius.
loss.
Can't take steam tanks.
Steam
steam
tanks
tanks are
are
big.
a huge loss. And
Looks
actually,
like you'll be taking those Marienberger
Yeah.
class
battleships.
Yeah,
and,
maybe.
and I also think, to be honest, that the loss of the Warrior Priest is actually the biggest of the lot. Because you can get round not having the steam tanks. You can take a couple of cannons, a couple of volley guns, take +1 to hit wagon. That's good. Losing your hatred is brutal.
Yeah, massive.
It's brutal. But wait, there's more.
There is.
Any army led by Leopold can take a single core choice unit chosen from between the Bretonnian Ogre Kingdoms or Dwarf Army books.
Right, now this really helps.
It does.
This helps. I can go, okay, that's fine. I'm going to go cavalry, demi-griffs, +1 to hit wagon.
Yep.
And in addition to all of that, I'm going to take a big unit of dwarves with great weapons in my core.
Take a big unit of Longbeards and stuff like that.
Yeah, big unit of Iron Guts.
Yeah. And
Represent.
that's tough.
This is representing renegades, outcasts, and ne'er-do-wells found in the border princes acting as mercenaries. These may not form part of the army's minimum core units, which must still be chosen from the Empire Army book.
That's painful.
Do you know what you could do? You could take Knights of the Realm, put Leaphold in the unit.
They'll be charged extra attack.
They've got Devi Charge and extra attack on the charge.
Oh, in our pack they do. Yeah, that's really good.
Because he doesn't give them Devastating Charge, he gives them extra attack on the turn.
Or even Knights Errant.
Could take Knights Errant,
And you take the Errantry
Take
banner
the
and
Entry
extra
Banner.
6.
Yeah. Doesn't say they can't take upgrades from there.
No.
So, yeah.
I do like dwarves in that a lot as well.
Yeah,
just for
I
the,
think-
for
I
the fact I can have a stubborn,
you've
big
got-
stubborn
yeah.
strength 6 unit.
Yeah.
Because I can take a magic banner on them. Harsh.
Very good.
And then the last part of Dark Renown is an Empire army led by Leopold is treated as a non-aligned force if used as an allied army.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
no one really uses.
Not really.
Even to other Empire armies.
Even the Empire
he's,
hate him.
he's also immune to psych, which is nice.
Yeah, the last
Yeah,
one,
it is.
last one is immune psychology.
So
Go on.
I was I mean I've just put some of that down here I think, but let's have a little look. No, I haven't.
What does his weapon do then? I thought it was
His
So,
weapon is awesome.
So Gore-Prow is his weapon. So Gore-Prow is the Mark Wounds D3 special rule and grants Leopold the Always Strikes first rule on the first round of any particular combat.
So
totally.
he's literally an elf in the first round of combat with Mark Points D3.
with Mark Points
How is that? The
Beast.
grants the Always Strikes first rule on the first round of any particular
combat
combat only.
Yeah.
What?
It means in the first round of combat.
Yeah.
I think what they're trying to say is if they're in that first round of combat and then next turn someone charges in, that doesn't count as a new first turn because they're charging into that same combat. I think that's what they're trying to say. So it's basically the first turn that Leapbold is in combat.
He's in combat, yeah.
Each time.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's worded poorly.
Yeah, it's worded badly. But overall,
not a shock.
I actually don't
He's not bad.
don't mind
He's
him,
not
and
terrible,
I
no.
do look at him and think I could do a really cool army with him.
Yeah.
And that is
Yeah,
certainly some modelling options with that
somewhat
army.
tempting.
Yeah.
The only issue is if you want to take any like the other units, you have got to fill up on 625 points. Of
Yeah,
Empire.
you have still got to take 624 points of Empire, but
Knights in a circle,
Yeah, there's a
Halberdiers
lot-
are still
yeah.
good. There's still a
easy
lot.
to do.
There's still a lot to like.
I would basically look at that unit from Britannians, Dwarves and Ogres. I would basically look at that as coming out of my special.
Yeah, that's a shock unit, a punchy unit.
Yeah.
So again, could be those Longbeards, could be the ogres will keep up.
Yeah.
The Iron Guts, that's nice. Could
Yeah.
be Iron
So
Guts.
it could take some nobblers.
So
Could take some peasant bowmen if you wanted to take the worst choices from the
That's-
list.
Yeah, flame attacks. Gets rid of the regen for Herbalist volley guns.
he does. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He does.
See?
So we'll move on. 14. It's not bad for a combat lord, particularly
No,
with
it's
the
not.
ones that's
No,
got the
it's
odd
not,
drawback.
actually.
He's quite
Yeah.
good. We like him. Probably
We do.
not the most competitive, but you could do an interesting list. And would you catch people out? That's a
Yeah,
big
I
question
really
to
think
me.
you would.
How many points is he?
He's 245.
45.
So you could easily get like a level 4 in there as
Oh,
well.
yeah. no stress.
comfortably.
You get a level 4 with Laura Light in there,
Could you then-
Suddenly making weapons go initiative 10 with ASF and always Mark Grimsby.
or just get a West Strikes first +1 attack on him.
Yeah.
And he's going up.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
his
yeah.
unit, he's giving him +1 attack. He's got +1 attack off the spell. You get that on that
+1
Knight of the
tip from
Realm
the wagon.
unit.
Oh yes.
Leopold the Black, Leopold the Mighty!
Yeah. So
Leopold the Bretonian, that's becomes.
there's a lot of good stuff there, guys. So
Yeah.
wonderful. Let's move on. We have got Captain now. Captain
okay.
Edvard van der Krau and Mannon's
You're
Blades.
confusing Max with the order.
Yeah.
No, because they're in a different order, I think.
You're
in
going
the,
in
the
bestiary.
bestiary.
in the bestiary
Yeah.
order, I think.
Yes,
I
they
have,
are.
yeah. Lovely, thank you. So this one is a hero choice. So I should have said Theodore and Leopold are lords.
Both lords.
The captain, I'm not saying his name again. 12 out of 24.
Edvard
hero,
van der
Edvard
Krau.
van der Krau.
and Mannon's Blades. So he gets a 3 for his output, 2 for his special rules, 1 for his synergy, 1 for his risk, 3 for his survivability, and 2 for his cost. Just really middle of the pack.
Yeah.
He averages
Not
out
very good.
to about middle of the pack. He's got a couple of 3s and a couple of 1s, and everything else is 2s, which is why he's a 12. What do I like about him? He's a captain of the Empire, but randomly he's got leadership 9, which is
For
awesome.
no real reason.
He's a general.
So he could be a general.
And
And
he's take Theodore Brighton, he's a general.
He's
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
actually, he
you
could
do,
get that's
Yeah.
trying to help. And let's make 2 subpar choices slightly better. I like the fact his weapon skill 6. I say that.
Yeah.
What's leadership 5?
He is.
Yeah.
So-
So pretty quick.
That's good. And he weirdly has weird equipment. Okay, he's got wild equipment. He's only got heavy armor, not full plate.
Yeah.
Very
which is a
strange.
shame.
He's got a brace of pistols though,
Yep.
which I love.
Yeah.
He's BS4, it's not bad, but BS4, but it gives him an extra attack in
Extra
combat.
attack.
So
Yeah.
he's got 4 attacks that he's beating you down with. I think that's really good.
Solid. Very solid.
So yeah, good stuff there. What else have I got noted down here? Light
He
things.
can, even though he's got that brace pistols, he can still parry.
He can.
Thanks
That's
to
the dirty-
Dirty Fighter.
Yeah. So let's.
Dirty
let's
Fighter.
There's a
have
lot
that.
to Dirty Fighter as well.
Day 5. Van der Krau may always parry in combat as if he was equipped with a sword and shield, and in addition, at the end of any round of combat he's in and survives, and after all other blows have been struck, he may make an additional single attack with a killing blow special against the model of his choice in base contact.
Very good.
It's great.
Just shoots in the head.
Basically, yeah.
I
he
think
just-
so. Yeah. Just point blank. And that's really cool.
It is. It's very good.
Like, it's
Yeah.
pretty decent. So. Yeah.
Where next?
What's his? Should we go on to the rest of his special rules?
Yeah,
Or
he's
move
also
on
got
to Dirty Fighter?
hard to kill.
Hard
Yeah.
to kill. So some say he's a witch's
There is a
get.
lot of blurb for like 2 lines of rules.
Yeah,
again.
there is. Some say he's a witch's get with devil's luck. Some the Manan himself won't let Van der Krau die until the Lord of the Deeps himself takes Van der Krau to watery and well-deserved grave.
There's a lot of Van der Krau in that.
A lot of Van der Krau.
Whilst others say that he's just too mean to die.
You're too mean to die.
In any case, he survives calamities and wounds unaccounted, although he's lost a few bits and pieces of himself along the way.
Yeah, he sort of had bits chopped off, which I quite like.
Van der Kraal has the regeneration 5+ rule and is immune to particular effects. The particular effects of killing blow.
They'd like the word particular, whoever wrote this.
They do like particular. So yeah, so can't be killing blowed. Really good.
Yep.
Extra good because he's got regen, which is ignored
killing
by
blows
killing blow.
ignored.
So good.
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, not bad.
Five up.
5 up, 5 up. For a hero's okay. It's not the best.
No, but
he's still only 2 wounds.
Yeah.
Now he can upgrade a unit of swordsman to become Manon's blades.
Yes.
Which does mean you have to take swordsman.
It does, but
it's
not the end of the world.
No, it doesn't cost anymore to upgrade them to Manon's blades.
And they get literally nothing for it.
They get nothing for it. However, they do. Because when when Van der Kraal is in that unit, both him and them become stubborn.
That's good.
Yeah.
Very good, especially at Leadership 9. Does he have Hold the Line? Probably not.
No, because it's before Hold the Line. Yeah.
In order to represent the Manon's Blade, a single unit of swordsmen in your own army may be given the Sea Bright standard for 50 points. This unit must be bought. This unit must be bought to full commander group and may not be a detachment, but may have detachments of its own as normal. Van der Kraal must begin the game as part of the unit, the best to keep an eye on them. In addition, while he remains part of the unit, both he and they are stubborn.
He can leave the unit after the start, which is good. The banner is dreadful.
Yeah, it's 50 points
dreadful
for fear and +1 on your pursue rolls.
Yeah. So take a 15-point banner. Well, you can't, but I mean, if you could take a 15-point banner of +1 movement all the time, I just think that's better. I mean, it doesn't affect your pursuit rolls, but I think it's better. It's just dreadful.
At least you ain't got to take fierce tests.
This is dreadful. The banner's dreadful. I've put here 1 unit of swordsman can be given the 50-point banner, and he gains stubborn when he's in the unit. Take the stubborn, forget the banner. It's just not worth it.
Yes.
Overall, he's a bit lackluster. I'm sorry, he's not great.
No.
He's not competitive.
No.
You're taking him because you think it's fun and it's cool, and he is cool.
He is cool.
He is cool.
I remember the models being quite nice as well.
The Manon's Blades upgrade stuff. Yeah, solid.
I like the Null Ironsides.
I prefer the Null Ironside models or upgrades.
So talking of gorgeous models, and actually some really good rules and some lovely art. She's just the whole package. This next one, we're going to move over to the head of the Amethyst College and her rather large dragon. Is Elspeth von Draken, and she comes in with a competitive rating of 19 out of 24. She is good.
Wizard of the Amethyst Order, the Dark Lady Unknown, and the Graveyard Rose.
She's
edgy.
She's very edgy.
It's a shame they didn't name her Carmine Dragon. That would have been nice. Because basically all the other named characters that don't just have a horse mount have a named mount.
Some of them do have named horses, like
Some
Daisy.
of them have named horses like Daisy.
I'd like to think that she would call the dragon Reginald. There you go.
Elspeth von Reginald.
Elspeth von Draken.
We're not going to go there.
With Reginald.
Bertrand.
No, I like Reginald. It's regal.
Regal Reginald.
Regal Reginald. So she has a 3 for output, a 4 for special rules, 4 for synergy. We're giving her a 2 for risk because she is on a very large dragon, so she could stay away. But death's short range. You're going to put her in.
You've got a dragon.
And you're on that dragon. In the late game, you're definitely going to put her in.
Yeah.
3 for survivability because she isn't easy to get rid of, and 3 for cost because she's pretty amazing.
Yeah, she's not bad.
You can do some really good stuff with her.
Yeah.
She's a battle wizard lord, basically.
Yep.
Exactly the same as an Empire battle wizard lord, except randomly she's got 2 additional points of leadership. She's leadership 10.
Ridiculous.
Amazing.
I mean, she's pretty much half dead, so she don't care.
So good.
No, she doesn't.
And 2 attacks.
She's also got a second attack.
Second attack, yeah.
Treat yourself.
Not bad.
Yeah, she's not going to do much with it, but treat yourself.
Well, her weapon does have killing blow.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll get to that in a second.
I didn't even realise that she had that. Nice.
Yeah, it's not bad. Nice to have that second attack.
Shall we go through some rules?
She's
stat-wise, otherwise she's exactly the same.
We'll have to look at the Carmine as well quickly.
Carmine Dragons, Bulk Skill 5, Strength 5, Toughness 6, 6 wounds, Initiative 5, 6 attacks, Leadership 8.
So it's a 6-ish dragon that has 1 less point of strength, but does have a whopping initiative of 5, which is a lot higher, 2 points higher than a regular 6-ish dragon. Very strong.
I don't know if Carmine Dragons in general have that higher initiative.
I think they do.
Yeah.
I think it's a straight.
It's
a straight Carmine Dragon stat line.
Apparently being dead makes you quick.
Well, yeah.
Well, they're
attuned to the wind
infused with
of
death magic, aren't they?
Sheesh.
Yeah,
that's death.
because it's easy to cover the dragon first, let's just get it out of the way. It
Yeah.
causes terror, it's a large target, which means she's got an 18-inch leadership 10 bubble, which is amazing.
Fantastic.
Yep. It flies, obviously. It has Scaly Skin
Dragon.
2+,
Really
Really
good.
which is better than
Six's dragon.
than any dragon, really. I don't think there's any
Most have
dragon
threes,
that's
isn't
got...
it? Magmas might. No,
I think
they have worse. They
they're,
have a
they're
region.
the 4+.
Shard
inside
dragons.
The region. Shard dragons aren't
Yeah.
really a dragon, though. I mean, they
Yeah,
I know
dragon-
it's dragon.
dragon,
yeah, but they're like a burrowing
lizard.
thing, aren't
They're
they?
more of a drake.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like a burrower.
Then he has coruscating blast.
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah, this is the nightmare of a weapon.
Another dreadful rule.
Yes.
So the Carmine Dragon's breath weapon is a sorceress blast of powerful amethyst magic capable of weathering metal and rendering flesh to dust as if millennia had just passed in mere seconds. This breath weapon works similarly to determine the effects of a cannon shot. See Warhammer rulebook. The maximum range of the attack target point is 12 inches away from the monster,
So you place a point to up to 12 inches away from the monster.
Roll the other.
Roll
and
it
may
dice,
be
roll the
treated just like a normal breath weapon. After the target point has been selected,
That's when it gets really messy, which means you can shoot it after you've marched, and technically you can
Just
fire
shoot
it
in
in combat.
after the target point has been selected, roll an artillery dice to create a line of effect for the blast, travelling the straight line away from the dragon, just for determining the bounce of a cannon shot. Misfire results should be re-rolled. Any model caught in the blast, the line of the blast suffers D3 wounds and arm stays possible.
Right.
Just suffer D3 wounds.
Yeah. Really horrible. Now, we've had lots of questions over the years about this one.
Yes.
With many people saying if it's a breath weapon, when I use it in combat,
Like
does it just do
2d6
hits that do D3 wounds?
Just 2d6 lots of D3 wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've always said no. If you're using it in combat, that's fine, but do it exactly the same way you would use it out of combat.
Out of combat. Place a point, roll an artillery.
Roll an artillery dice,
Yeah.
because otherwise it just gets beyond unpleasant.
Yes.
It really does.
Yes.
So that's the Carmine Dragon, realistically.
It's a really good breath
It's a
weapon.
good
That
breath
It is
weapon.
a really good
seriously
breath
good breath weapon.
Yeah.
I suppose the only thing that I look at there is if it is done, does it say for determining a cannon?
In what way? Just as determining a bounce for a cannon shot.
And it says does it say the breath weapon works similarly to?
Similarly.
So
to
now I
cannon.
don't know whether it stops. If it doesn't kill a target of monstrous origin, does it stop? Or is it
Oh.
everyone under the line?
Maybe treat it just like a normal breath weapon.
I'd say no, it probably carries on.
Yeah, I'm going to say it carries on.
Yeah,
as well.
I'd say it carries
So
on.
we're going to say it carries on,
Yeah.
but you still shoot it the same way every time. It's a real mess. We're
It is
sorry,
a
guys.
mess
Um,
of a breath
but
weapon.
it's good. It's
It is.
good.
It is
It
very
is a good breath weapon.
Please just use it out of combat.
Please, it's so much
Please.
easier for our life.
Yeah.
Carrying on, her special rules
So-
now. She is good.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Elspeth
she's
von
fine.
Dragon herself has Lawmaster Law of Death.
Very
because
good.
That's what you
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's such a poor law to be a law master of,
On a
especially
fl-
when
on
you
a
can
flying
fly
monster.
after.
On a flying monster, you'd be silly.
Oh, so good.
And then she has Dark Walker. So Von Draken's body has become so suffused with dread magical power to the extent that she stands halfway between life and death, and at will she can become an all but insubstantial spectre in human form. She is immune to psychology, and all to wound rolls made against her at -1.
So good.
Really good.
Unfortunately, she also suffers any extra effect that is listed as specifically damaging demons or the undead,
Yeah.
such as the Laura Light's exorcism attribute.
Yeah.
As I always
A
say,
shame.
if she gets hit by those spells, she's gonna probably die anyway. They
Probably.
hit her.
The only thing that might not kill her is like a little Shems.
Or an unpowered.
And a
Imperial
little
Arrow.
Shems even on 2d6 possibly won't kill her because it's
Maybe
randomising the hits
Yeah,
of
that's
her
true,
and the
that's
dragon.
true. And then
It's 5s to wound her.
5s to win her because it's
Or
-1.
like just
Maybe
a basic banishment that has no extra buffs to it.
A strength 4 banishment probably
Yeah.
won't
No,
kill her
yeah.
either.
Yeah.
Struggle.
Mm.
Even with the extra d6, to be honest, probably still struggle to kill her.
Possibly.
Averaging 9 hits.
3 of
Guess
them are on her.
Oh, say you average 10 and there was 4 of them on her. She's still going to struggle with
Maybe
5s to
two.
win.
Guess
her.
what though, Lord Croak delivering the pizza to her.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. The difference of history is more of a concern. Although I say that, it
It's
isn't
a
really.
banishment.
It's a banishment.
It's just banishment.
Yeah, but you can do that every time. Have a pizza. Have a
You
pizza.
can just do multiple.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just dispel it and hope for the best. Okay, lovely, let's move on.
So magic items then. She has the pale scythe, which James seems to have completely glossed over this entire.
I missed the first line of it.
This weapon has a killing blow special rule,
I don't look for combat wizards, okay?
and as a focus for deathly energies, it adds +1 to Elspeth von Draken's dispelling rolls.
Really good.
So good.
Really, really
It's level 5 dispelling attempts.
Yeah, plus
good.
5 to dispel attempts, amazing.
Killing
Yeah.
blow on 2 attacks, not bad.
Not bad, yeah.
No. And she has Death's Timekeeper. So this is her hourglass.
This is so good.
This is good.
Once per player turn, Elspeth von Draken's player can reroll a single dice of their choice concerning her or the Carmine Dragon. This can include attacks, saving throws, magic dice, and the artillery dice used to determine the Carmine Dragon's coruscating blast if desired.
So I would, just to interject, I would rule that as not being able to reroll the wins of magic dice.
Yeah, because
they're not hers,
specifically
they're just the
affect
wins.
her.
What if she's
or
the
her
only
dragon.
wizard?
No, but she could reroll channels and she can reroll a dice on casting.
Dispelling. Yeah.
Very dirty.
If this reroll is not used, at the end of a player's turn, Elspeth von Draken may recover a wound previously lost in the game.
So there's never a time.
Is that at the end of her player's turn? She can
At the end of her player's turn.
Okay, so you can't regain it at the end of your opponent's turn.
Yeah,
That's a shame.
but still.
But it just means you always use the reroll in your opponent's turn. Because why wouldn't you? Because
yeah,
you don't get
if
anything
you're
for
going
that.
second and you've not used it, you always use it.
No, it's player turn, it's not game turn. She gets one reroll per player turn.
Oh, she gets one for her. Oh,
Her turn
yeah.
and your opponent. So you
Oh,
always
wow.
use it in your opponent's
Once
turn.
per player turn.
Yeah, so good.
So always use it in your opponent's turn because
Wow.
you get no benefit for not.
Yeah,
And then if you can, and she's wounded, save it in your turn, get a win back.
amazing. Yeah,
Really
really
good.
good. Even better than I thought.
Apparently Hourglass is really good.
Yeah.
They are. In
Yeah.
Warhammer,
The
hourglasses are
Incarnate
strong.
Death has got
yeah.
really good hourglasses as well.
Hourglasses are good. in
Maybe it's
Warhammer.
just death hourglasses.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just Death. Maybe it's Lord Death.
I need to get
Maybe
it.
that's
It's
really
just Laura
good.
Death. I think it's Laura Death.
I've not heard anyone say Laura Death's good.
Her and the Incarnate, double hourglass.
Oh, in the rare slot with the Incarnate Elemental of Death.
All Death all the time, baby.
All hourglass.
Ooh.
All the time.
How many points Incarnate Element Death?
Not enough to not
No.
get it in.
That's two, baby!
400 and something?
Ah.
No, 285.
No, he's not that cheap, is he?
Yeah, I
I,
think
Mate,
thought it was about
We'll
385.
we'll check off camera. I don't
Yeah.
think they're that.
The
They're that
Beast is
expensive.
275.
Yeah, I think they're all about the
it
same sort
probably
of
is
points.
about that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, you could get
Cheeky.
two, or one and a Carmine. Another Carmine Dragon. Treat yourself.
All day.
3,000 points. Two Carmine Dragons in the rare slot and her on the Lord slot.
All the coruscate. All
The attack wing of Carmine Dragon.
She will be your leader though, always, because she's your 10.
Yes,
There's just no Empire stuff that's taken out.
all the
really.
confusing breath weapons in the world, yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
Cries in Ogre Kingdoms. That breath weapon is vile against
Just
us.
that Guard Star just like...
Yep. Not good.
So
Not good.
she's really good.
I've put
She's
some
really
notes
good.
here, some key points to cover. So I upped her survivability by 1 because she's -1 to be wounded and she can restore wounds, just horrible.
Yeah.
Lawmaster's amazing, we all know that.
Yeah.
Now Carmine Dragon costs you 305 if you buy them separately, meaning you've paid 285 for the Elspeth portion.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
You also don't need to be playing 3k to get 3 Carmine Dragons in.
yeah, you do. They're 305. Oh no, you don't.
It's 600.
Oh! Oh!
I was like, it's maths.
Excuse me, I need to spend some
Buy
more
some
money.
Carmine
I need to
Dragon.
buy some more dragons. Oh no.
What a shame.
What a shame. 2 more, please. I got excited.
Where are
So
we?
200 points is what an Empire Battle Wizard Lord level 4 costs you.
Yep.
So for 85 you're getting Lawmaster, at least 35 of those points. And then you're going more 50 points. I've got the Hourglass, the Scythe.
Yep.
-1
to be wounded.
Yep, the Immune Psychology.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The second attack with Killing Blow.
So good. So much good stuff going on there.
The leadership 10.
Oh yeah, which is why I gave her that 3 for cost, because I think she's exploitable. I really wanted to give it a 4, but she does have that problem of having no actual save.
Yeah. Well, she's got 6 off being mounted.
She does, yeah.
Baby.
Which means Laura Metal can wound her. Arguably worse. Actually, when Laura Metal can't wound her, it's -1 to wounds.
Amazing.
The joke's on you, Balthazar Galton.
The only thing that I think could make her better. He does just devastate the dragon though. The only
Yeah, he
thing
would.
that
Not Reginald.
that would make her better, other than obviously just giving her a ward save, is if the -1 affected her dragon. -1 to win affected her dragon. She would be
Not to a power save.
so good.
I thought you were going to say the only thing that could make her better is if they'd named Dragon Reginald.
Well, I mean that would help.
That would also make her better.
I've had to play it once and she devastated half my Chaos Dwarf army.
She would with purple sun.
And you think Chaos Dwarves as well, they've got a lot of artillery.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, we'll talk more about her later.
I
There's
didn't
some
have the
things that I've got that I now wish I'd wrote differently.
I didn't have the right artillery, I did have the right spell.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
you
Yeah.
did.
That's still horrible.
So because your cow's initiative 3.
On that, yeah.
Baby!
And on that bombshell, we'll move on to our final Empire character. This one is Castellan engineer Jubal Falk and the known Ironsides, and he comes in with a pretty poor 11 out of 24.
Yeah, not great. At least they've all made double figures. All the Empire stuff.
They have, yeah. They're not ungrown 4 horn.
1 for output, guys. 1 for special rules. 4 for synergy. He does 2 quite a bit synergy wise. 2 for risk. Nothing for survivability. He's pitiful. 3 for cost because he's not that expensive and you can get something out of him. Big buff character, this one.
Yes.
He really improves shooting heavy Empire armies, and I think if I was doing a known style army,
I don't know why you wouldn't.
probably would include him.
Yeah.
For 95 points, I think I'd put him in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think... How much is an Empire? An engineer, yeah.
65. 65 is the number in my head.
He's sort of 30-ish points more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably take him for that, I think.
Yeah.
For it, you do get the null Ironsides.
Yeah, which you do have to pay 2 points model for.
You do.
But it
you
gives them
can
heavy armour.
give it to you can give it to every handgunner unit.
You can. I don't think I would.
See, this is the interesting thing. I think I would.
Really?
I would probably take a Laura Metal Wizard, though.
Yeah.
Okay, Bubble Glare and Scales.
And now I've got 3-up armour save handguns.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Across
Yeah,
the back
so-
line. That's quite
Yeah, I
tough.
can see
The
that.
null Ironside, as Scott said, you have to pay 2 points a model for any regiments of handgunners, and they get to have heavy armour. This must be suitably modelled, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you got to go. In other words, you got to buy the full job models, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Or get your green stuff out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably do that.
Yeah.
Fuck for that.
Black Powder Discipline. Any Ironside's handgunner unit that contains Jubal Folk may reroll shooting to hit rolls of 1 of his handguns.
This is really good.
Really good.
No, this does not apply to Jubal himself.
A shame.
But you're not going to shoot at Jubal, and I'll
No.
explain why. So Jubal is going to stand on the corner of a very long unit of known Ironsides, let's say 19 of them.
Yeah.
And next to that, about 2.5 inches away, is going to be a Hellblaster volley gun.
Yes, it is.
And Jubal Falk is not going to shoot all game. He is going to boost that Hellblaster volley gun with his ballistic skill.
And let his unit
and
of
his
non-Ironsides
master of artillery
reroll
and
ones.
let his unit of non-Ironsides reroll ones
This
to
is
hit.
because Falk is an engineer.
He is still an engineer.
And all the normal rules to this in the Empire Army book apply.
So this is really good, this element here. He goes on the corner, does that for that. So now he's buffing multiple units in your army, and you can also purchase that good armour for other handgun units if you've really gone that mad. And then you've actively combating weaknesses, which is that your army just doesn't hit with your shooting. So this is good.
Yes,
this is actually quite good, if I'm being honest.
Yep. And then his last bit, he has a magic item. He has the Mercurial Shot, which is a magic weapon, 1 use only. This is a 1-use attack which is used in conjunction
With
his Hockland long rifle.
Falk's Hockland long rifle, which all its usual rules applying. The player must declare its use before rolling to hit. If it strikes a target, it hits with strength 6, armor piercing, and multiple wounds 2. Sorry.
Yeah.
If the shot misses, it is wasted.
it's like a magic bullet he loads in.
Yeah.
So
it's a shame he has to roll it before. He has to declare it before he rolls to hit.
It's dreadful. I'm sorry, it's dreadful.
Yeah, it's
he's
pretty
never
much.
going to hit with it. He's BS4. He's got a Hockler long rifle, which means he's going to be on probably 5s on a really good day to hit. It's not going to happen. So don't do it. Just boost your Hellblaster volley gun with him.
Yes.
Don't waste your time on it.
If it's like turn 6 and you got nothing else to do, maybe it might be fun.
Yeah, I mean, if
If you
the
look at it and
artillery
think
piece
I can
already
score
died,
some points, I could score maybe more points this turn if I can
Yeah.
kill that level 1 wizard or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But it's not great, guys.
no,
it's really
very
not.
niche.
But I mean, I suppose with +1 to hit from Laura Metal, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think we've covered most of what I've said. On here.
He's solid in the right sort of army.
Yeah, I've
but
got.
only in the right
He's a
sort of
real
army.
glass cannon.
Yep.
Shockingly poor on the staying alive front.
Yes.
Stay alive.
Yeah. So he's not the greatest finish to this section, I'm afraid,
He's not.
guys. But what I'd like to take this opportunity to do is remind you that we just talked about the Lawmaster Death Wizard on the Dragon. Yeah.
And a boat on wheels.
And the boat on wheels,
but,
yeah.
But yeah, take Elspeth.
Take her, yeah, definitely.
Take Elspeth and take 2 Carbine Dragons, apparently.
Yes. So that's it. We've revisited the humans of the Empire for the last time in the Deep Dive series.
Yeah.
Last time we're going to be walking through those crooked streets. But I think Elspeth has made this journey
Well worth
our
it.
while.
Yeah.
So with that, it's time for our customary break. Grab yourself a Coke.
Other beverages are available.
And sorry, I just lost
Just
that then.
completely missed where you were.
Take 5 minutes. You've earned it, guys. How am I still reading that at this point?
Unbelievable.
And we will see you very shortly to look at the chaos offerings you can find in Tamurkhan. Welcome back as we move on to the 5 new flanking units and 3 special characters found in this supplement.
Before we get on to that, we did say we would check the points of the Incarnate Elemental of Death
We
on
did.
camera, and it was 275.
Yeah.
Not the 400 that I said it was. Clearly, I have no idea.
Yeah. Sick.
Oh, I don't know what you're thinking of.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know.
I reckon you might be thinking of the Colossus, Necrolyth Colossus. That's about 400 points.
Maybe.
That's deathy as well.
Maybe, but it is very different.
It's deathy as well. I'm digging you out.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm thinking of that. Sure.
Remember to check out the Warriors of Chaos and Demons of Chaos Army Book Deep Dives so that you can see the monsters. You can use the monsters, the models, and monsters. There are monsters.
There are some.
You can use them in conjunction with the elements that we're about
so far
to
away at this
discuss.
They do.
They
seem
Not
like-
so much the demons one.
But
That
the
was still
Chaos
6
one
months ago.
ages ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
Demons was
Well,
6 months
we
ago.
went with 5 months worth of end time stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
We're just having a little reminisce in the chairs. Now, we've got 5 flanking units. They are the Chaos Siege Giant, Plague Toads of Nurgle, Bile Trolls of Chaos, Pox Riders of Nurgle, and the Chaos War Mammoth. And
He
then
sounds a lot like a cow.
we have
Yeah.
3 special characters, but they are going to be rated as 4 special characters.
Yes.
And then we're going to also have like a little bolt on to one of them that's an additional flanking rating. It's a bit weird, but just go with us on it, okay?
And
Go with the flow.
And a mount as well.
Well, yeah, he's sort of
He's included. but
included
there
in
are,
2 of the characters.
He has a page just for himself.
Have a lot of rules.
So we have Tamurkhan, the Maggot Lord in Sargath.
Yeah.
Then we also have Tamurkhan, the Maggot Lord in the Tyrant.
Unnamed tyrant.
Unnamed Tyrant. Sad, really. We have Saul the Faithless and Nightmare as a bolt-on. And then we have Kazik
Kazik
the Befouled. So lots to get through.
Also, the tyrant does have a name in the background here.
Oh, does he?
It's Karaka Break Mountain.
Oh, okay.
Great.
I don't think it would have fit in this little box.
In the little box, yeah.
So just tyrant.
Tyrants.
I have to show they didn't put Karaka BM. Because then I could have gone BM. Sorry. So let's begin our madness with the flanking units. And we'll start with the Chaos Siege Giant, which comes in with a competitive rating of 16 out of 24. Those of
Not
you
terrible.
that saw the
Castle.
Chaos Dwarf deep dive, Legion of Asgore, you will have seen what we're about to say there. So enjoy. 4 for strength attacks, 4 for number of attacks, 3 for special rules, 1 for maneuverability, 3 for survivability, and 1 for cost. He is expensive.
Now, if I remember this right, he is basically a giant with a 4-up save.
No, not quite.
I don't remember it right. Why does anyone listen to me?
So the Siege Giant has a 5 armor save.
Not even gonna
And
get that right.
3 up against shooting.
Oh, so I've averaged it out.
No, it's the wrong way round.
No, I'm not.
Oh, sorry,
No, it is the right way around.
Oh, hang on. In the other video, this is exactly what we said.
Is it?
We said it the wrong way around.
I do apologise then, but yeah, it's a 5 up again in combat. It's 3 up against shooting attacks.
So literally in the other
He's
video,
got a big old shield.
we sat there and said it the opposite way around.
I do apologise. I didn't realise that was like over a year ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
But yeah, that's the way you want it. You want the 3 up against shooting.
Yeah.
That's the way you want it, because that's where you lose them. You lose them when they're being shot on the way in.
Yeah. It has the same fall over rules as a giant. That's a lot of rules there. I don't.
Yes. We're not going to do that.
We're just going to park
The
those.
Giants are in a lot of
We've
books
gone
that we've
over
already
giants
done.
about 7 times at this point.
Yeah, a lot, and we've still got
What,
the
ogres, orcs and
compendium to
goblins?
do.
Ogres, Orcs, Goblins,
Beastmen.
Beastmen, Warriors of Chaos,
Yep, that's
Chaos
fine.
Dwarves.
Yep,
This one now says 6
that'll be
times.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
6. A lot.
Yeah, and if you're checking out the Warriors of Chaos deep dive, you'll see the rules for falling over giant in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go mad, but they can fall over. It's very bad. Try
Yeah,
to
not
avoid
good.
this.
No.
Try to avoid it. Try to avoid fleeing, cross an obstacle, or if you decide to flail and crush.
I mean,
You say decide.
they are stubborn, which is good.
Yes.
And they are leadership 10,
Mm.
which is good. So
Very
fleeing isn't an often thing.
No.
No.
And
Of course, terror, large target naturally, and they're immune to psychology.
yep, so they're not going to
Good.
panic
Yeah.
either. So the fleeing one's good. Don't cross an obstacle, so don't step over a fence. I don't know why you wouldn't just walk around it.
I remember they used to have the
Charge
rule.
them.
I remember they used to have the rule Longshanks.
Did they?
Yeah, they used to have a rule called Longshanks. They ignored obstacles.
Now they trip
Now
over
they
them.
trip
Now they trip
Now they've gone from ignoring to the nemesis of the giant.
So, but then the attacks themselves have changed from a
Right,
giant
okay.
because their hands have been replaced by giant spikes.
I see.
I mean,
I see.
yes.
Yes.
See figure A.
Yes.
You
So,
can't see it.
as per usual, when you are in combat, you have to decide how big the thing is fighting,
Yes.
and then you roll a d6 on a corresponding chart. If you find big things, which is monsters, monstrous infantry, monstrous cavalry, chariots, war machines, or anything else with a large target special rule, except buildings, see special rules below, and characters riding any of the above.
Okay.
Lovely. If you're not any of those things, you're a small target.
You're a man-smized or smaller chart.
A man-smized.
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 So, big things get leg breaker, smash with pick, headbutt. Man-sized things get yell and ball, smash with pick, flail and crush, ripping blades.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There is a lot. So I'm going to quickly just run through it.
Leg breaker.
Leg breaker. So, giant target, single heading model and target unit that is in the target unit is in base concept. The giant and its victim both roll D6 and add their strength. For each point that which the giant beats his victim scores, it inflicts D3 automatic wounds, no arm saves allowed.
Ooh.
He's good. He's good against big stuff. He's strength 6 as well, which is nice.
So leg breaker is only available for big things. In addition, regardless of the results, any models other than the giant inflicting the attacks in base contact of the victim must pass an initiative test to get out of the way or suffer an automatic wound from the struggling beasts.
Oh, okay. So you hit the guys around him as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Smash with pick. This is the second result for big things. Target giant choose a single target model from the enemy unit that is in base contact with. The target may attempt to avoid the blow by passing an initiative test. If it's failed, the model suffers 2d6 wounds and no arm saves allowed. If a double is rolled, the giant's pick has embedded itself in the ground and the giant cannot attack at all.
That's the same with like smash with club or something from the
I think that's
standard
2d6 strength 6 hits. This is just 2d6 wounds.
Yeah. He just goes
horrible. Just absolutely decimates.
Very good, because most monsters are low initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then the final one, which is headbutt, targets a single enemy model from the target unit is in base contact, automatically inflicting 1 wound, no arm saves allowed. The victim is wounded but not slain, then the victim is dazed and loses subsequent attacks. If the victim is not yet attacked in the combat round, they lose their attacks this round, or if they've already attacked, they lose all their attacks in the next round instead.
Wow.
Good. This one carries over as well.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, it's good.
And issue 3, you're probably going to be going at the same time, realistically.
Yeah, depending on what it is. It's
Yeah.
big things. If it's a big character, they'll probably go first. But if it's monstrous imp, they'll probably go the same time or after you.
Roughly. Then we're on to the Mansmized. Mansmized is spoiler chart. So yellow ball, classic, win.
You win
by 2.
Win by combat by 2.
Does the combat end immediately then?
Or
is it just you win it by 2?
So the giant's great. Neither the giant nor the models in base contact with them fight if they've already not done so already this round. The giant side automatically wins by 2.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
You just have break test.
Yeah. So initiative 3 is good. For,
yeah. So flail and crush. Smash with pick. Still wear smash with pick. So pick any model. They take 2d6 wounds.
Horrible. that's that Power Wizard Lord in the front rank. It's like, no, I don't like this.
I'm in danger. So the next moves one is flail and crush. So being too heavy to jump up and down as a normal giant might be when moved to a frenzy of violence. This giant, however, does its best to mash anything close underfoot and flails blindly with oversized weapons. First test to see if the giant falls over. Roll a dice. You're on 2+ your fly. With any wounds caused, if they do, count towards combat results. If the giant remains on his feet, select a target unit in base contact. That unit sustains D6 strength 8 automatic hits. Resolve wounds and saves as normal as the armoured bulk of the giant batters them into the ground.
It's horrible
against
cavalry.
Strength 8 as well, really good.
Cavalry is small things.
Small things, yeah.
It is Mansmized. And unlike jump up and down, you don't have to keep doing it.
No.
If you roll jump up and down, you have to keep doing jump up and down.
Yeah.
And the last one is ripping blade. So equipped with massive hooked blades or oversized flails mounted to the bundles of chains, cows, siege giants are equally at time smashing apart buildings and fortifications as they are sweeping mere mortals into a jumbled heap of torn flesh and broken bones. Select a target unit in base contact. That unit suffers 2d6 strength 6 automatic hits, resolve wounds and saves normal. If a double 6 is rolled as well as inflicting 12 hits on the enemy, the giant must immediately test to see if it falls over, 2+ you're fine. Any damage this way counts towards combat resolution. If a double 1 is rolled, something very unfortunate has occurred. If this has happened, no damage is inflicted on the enemy units. Instead, the giant suffers D3 wounds, no saves, and immediately falls over. Its chains wrapped around his neck, they manage to stab themselves, or something equally unpleasant has occurred.
How dare I?
In my head, it just goes.
That's all of its attacks when you're attacking actual things, but you can attack buildings.
Yes.
Just add
siege giant.
What I like is I'm pretty sure it says they can always attack buildings regardless of the scenario.
The cat siege giant may always choose to attack and destroy buildings regardless of scenario.
I love the idea that he's like, you want a piece of me? To a building.
You've got no fans. You've got no building.
Somewhere, someone's paid 100 points and Fuzzer exploding fortress, and then this guy comes bowling along. Oh, you've made my day.
Use the Watchtower description for fortified buildings where appropriate.
Sorry. Regardless of the scenario. So that's but the scenario, regardless of the scenario.
The scenario is Watchtower.
I've destroyed the Watchtower.
No one wins.
There is only giant.
That's draw specialists all over. I'll tell you that.
So good.
May always choose to assault the building even if it's occupied, potentially bring it down on top of any unlucky garrisoning troops inside. The Chaos Siege Giant always attacks the building with Smash or Pick attack and need not roll for a random attack type. So just 2d6 wounds.
How many wounds does a building have?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Someone can probably let us know that.
6?
Not enough when it's taking 2d6
Yeah,
of
probably
them.
not.
And then say it may be taken as a rare choice of either Warriors of Chaos or a Legion of Asgore.
We talked
As
about
well.
it, Legion.
It has upgrades.
Yep, it does.
Runes of Hate. A giant of Runes of Hate becomes subject to the Berserk Rage. See Frenzy special rule, so you don't get the benefits of Frenzy, just the crazy bit.
Just the bad bit.
4 bits of
In
frenzy.
addition, whenever a Giant's player is called upon to roll for a number amount of attacks, this may be re-rolled. The second result must be used, even if it's worse than the first.
So you have to overrun, but you do get
And you have to test the charge.
a lot more attacks. Yeah, but easily ship 10.
Yeah, he is. And yeah, Scaling Spikes. This is quite fun. This one's quite funny. Just gets turned into a siege tower.
Yeah, is that when he dies?
Yeah. If a Chaos Siege Giant with this upgrade perishes and falls over an obstacle such as a moat, ditch or wall with the Fallen Giant template laying across it, either leave the template in place or otherwise mark the obstacle, which can now be crossed by the Chaos player as clear ground. Additionally, if the Chaos Siege Giant dies at the foot of a building or fortification, Chaos models assaulting and garrisoning building across the location of his body gain special +1 to their combat res.
As they climb up the dead giant.
It's amazing.
It's just, the points of it is just not worth it at all.
No.
I mean, it's 275 points.
Same as a giant.
Same as Giant. Runes of Hate is 25 points.
I mean, you wouldn't.
That's not bad.
I don't think you take the upgrades, but he's the same as a giant. I think he's much better than a giant.
Oh, yeah.
Runes of Hate, I think. I might
Possibly.
be.
Oh, actually, a giant's two. Is a giant 225?
It's 200.
Oh, 200.
Yeah.
He's quite a long one, the giant.
Yeah.
He's
The
better.
Giant's
yeah,
about 200
200
points, yeah.
Oh, the Beastman one's 225, isn't it?
That's
'Cause
what I'm
he's
thinking.
25 points more for no reason
Because,
because,
you know,
they can get anything.
Basemen like to have an expensive monster. So
Yeah.
that's the Giant. Have you got a thing you want to say
Just
now?
quickly, how many points are the scaling spikes?
10 points.
Oh, okay, at least they're cheap.
Yeah, they are.
I still wouldn't take them.
If I had
but
to
at
spend
least
10
they're
points,
cheap.
I might take a chance. But
Maybe.
probably not.
Maybe.
If I knew they were bringing Fuzzer Exploding Fortress, regardless of the scenario.
I'm sorry, in fact, we use buildings quite a lot in our games as well.
You just start destroying buildings.
That building's not worth any points.
No.
I'm going to send 275 points.
No one's in the building.
No one's in the
No one's
building.
in it. It's not playing any part in the game.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
think you're
destroy it.
tough and you're big and stone? I'll show you.
Ah!
25 feet away, there's a load of high elves. They're like, what is he doing?
Smash with pick. Then he reforms after he destroyed the building, turns to face the archers, goes past them into the
Into the
waystone.
other building.
Into the waystone next to them.
I mean, look, I've just got here. The armour is a massive improvement,
Yeah, it's
particularly
huge.
on the way, and he
Yeah,
will
it's
probably get into combat. This guy.
Yeah.
He's
In
got
which he will do some damage.
he's got good special rules. He's got good attacks. Basically, all of his attacks are automatic hits,
They are all automatic.
which is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Because his weapon skill's rubbish, so that really helps. Which means that where he's going to excel is actually fighting stuff that's hard to hit. Really high weapon skill, which are normally high value targets, Mark and Nurgle. So, and the armour does help
Basically,
him.
elves or stuff that's Mark and Ogle.
Yeah, so good.
It's also quite good at fighting stuff that's high type as well, because if it's big thing, they're all automatic wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Frostart
Yeah.
Phoenixes.
Yeah, he's a big
Yeah.
problem for a Frostart. If
Frostart
you roll smash with
Phoenixes-
pick on a Frostart, that is
Just
bad.
take Frost off.
Well, because they're 2d6 wounds, so you start taking your ward saves from individually.
You can take an initiative test to avoid it.
He's only initiative 3,
So half the time you're getting smashed with a pig.
so I mean that's tough.
That's concerning.
Yeah,
To be honest, even a yellow ball against a Frosty.
he
Does-
can't
can't
yell
yell
Frost.
the ball.
Oh, is that a small thing?
That's
That's a
the
man's
only,
mind.
it's the only giant that can't yell the ball against big things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, overall, I've just got here. The armour's a big help.
I remember
but,
his model being very nice.
It is.
It is lovely.
He's still expensive. He's still a rare choice for Warriors of Chaos. That's a tough slot for
Yeah,
them. They've
he
got
is
some
a
good
very
stuff.
And
tough
it's even a tougher slot for Legion of Asgore,
Oh,
because they're not Kadai.
I think you are unlikely to take him. myself.
Yeah.
But we love a giant on this channel, so we've given him the love that he
I was
deserves.
just about to say that's the last time we're going to see the giant, but it's not.
No.
We have a 7th time.
Yeah, we do.
We've got some extra giant action, a giant we've never seen before as well, that will come up.
Bone Grinder.
Yeah.
Forward, Bone Grinder. So we're going to move on now to Bile Trolls of Chaos. These come in with a competitive rating of 14 out of 24, so creeping up but not amazing. We get there with 3 for strength attacks, 4 for number of attacks, 2 for special rules, 1 for manoeuvrability, 3 for survivability, and just 1 for cost though. So these are
Nurgle Trolls.
a rare slot
Yeah.
troll for your Warriors of Chaos army, which is already tough because you've got a special slot troll that is exceptionally cheap.
Yeah. What is that? A river troll equivalent stone? What are the ones that are -1 to be hit?
River troll.
River trolls. So,
So
they're sort of river troll.
Sort of
equivalent.
like a river troll.
Yeah.
They have a 4th wound
That's big.
And toughness 5.
and toughness 5, which is good.
Very good.
He's very good. I can't knock that. They do trade it for
A point of weapon skill.
and they do get -1 to hit because they're Mark and Nurgle in our pack. That's not how they were written, but
Yeah,
we
don't use the if you're using our packs, don't use the Mark and Nurgle written in the Tamurkhan book. Use
Yes,
Mark
the
and
one from the Warriors of Chaos
Nurgle from our FAQ and the Warriors of Chaos 8th
From the
edition
Warrior
book.
Cast.
They're leadership 5. I think a regular troll's on leadership 4.
They are, so it's still better.
They are
That's
only
good, though.
3 attacks, and a regular troll for 3 points can purchase an additional 1, which is wild.
And their weapon skill 2.
Not weapon skill 3, and that hurts them a lot
Yeah.
because it means that enemies that fail their fear checks still hit them on a 4,
Yeah.
which is
Hilarious.
Yeah.
is poor.
The
Very
joys
poor.
of being a skeleton.
They are
For all
still
those Vampire
stupid.
Counts player out there. Yep.
Stupid. They have poison attacks.
That's really good.
That's nice.
They have regeneration 5+.
That's a huge
That's a
kick
shame.
in the teeth.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Now,
You can get old fleshy abundance on them to get them back to regen
Yeah.
4+.
you can,
Yeah,
but you
so-
can put that on regular trolls.
To give them
That'll take
regen
them
3+.
So 3+. But I say, if you don't want to take regular trolls, you just want to take these sort of
If you want to pay
trolls, regular
more
trolls.
for...
The thing is, this is all it comes back to, these guys, that they're better against flaming because they're tougher and they've got an additional wound.
Yes.
But they are probably in the main as good or slightly worse against everything else because they're tougher with the slightly more wounds, but you get almost 2 trolls for the cost of every one of these.
But
Yes,
they are -1 to be hit.
They are 60 points a model.
They are a lot.
They are also being hit still with -1 to be hit on a 4 by basically
Most-
everything in the game.
Yeah,
Because
that's-
they're only
that's
weapon
fair.
skill 2.
Yeah,
So-
but most trolls being hit on 3s by anything that's decent.
Yeah.
So they are significant. I would say they're significantly tougher to wound than a normal troll, but the other troll obviously has got the standard troll's got a better
He's got a
chance
better
of saving.
save, and he'll have a lot more models.
He will.
The vomit of this troll is also different as well.
The vomit of this
Yeah,
troll is
it's very
disgusting.
good.
So
This is why I would take it.
Yeah. So as we all know, trolls can vomit. It does a strength 5 automatic hit that ignores arm saves.
Yeah.
This troll gets to do a strength 5 automatic hit. No arm saves allowed. Also has multiple wounds D3 and magical.
No, chucking a spirit host into your troll's skin.
So, I mean, Troll Vomit was always magical, I should point out. It's only in this 8th edition round of army books that they took the magical element off of Troll Vomit, which for many of us we were happy
wounds.
about.
All those vampire players out there.
Were really
Were thrilled.
pleased, and all those high elf players cried. But
There is a difference here though. Every bile troll in base contact. gets
So you
vomit.
can't support.
I can't support.
You can't vomit over the top.
your mate's head.
No.
Which is the single most cinematic part of Troll Vomit.
How much? Because there is a troll model that he's vomiting, isn't
Yeah.
there? If someone can model
He's
that,
right there
like
next
leant
to you.
back.
Right there next to
Oh,
you.
he is there. Someone can model that one, leant back, vomiting over a troll in front of
I
him.
like to
It'd be
think that
amazing.
the ones in the back row are like this.
Let's say the gastrointestinal strength to be able to vomit over a troll.
not just
Over-
a dude.
Yeah, well, you're a troll as well. Your head height is equal.
The height, yeah.
So-
It's the depth.
The girth.
the girth of the troll.
The width.
Yeah. That's a long way.
This is really not what we were expecting.
So
So
you can vomit with the guys in front of you. You can just swing with the guys at the back.
it means
Yeah.
that you've got no. I don't know if you can because normally it says
Oh,
the unit
may
may
forego.
forego for vomit.
Oh, that's a shame.
So really, you just want units of 4,
yeah.
small units. But then I look and
Okay.
say 240 points. I get a unit of 4 of them out of my rare slot, or I can have.
The Hellcannon for 210.
Well, in my
Start
special
buffers.
slot, I can have 6 trolls and
or
change
other trolls.
for those points. And they're out of my special
And they're
slot.
probably going to your core.
And they've got a 4th attack.
And they may well
And they could
into
go
your
into my core if I wanted to. So, and that's really the Lions.
It'd be really nice if old what's his name?
Throg made
ladies
them special.
jumped them from rare to core.
Yeah,
I was straight over that. I mean, that would be very good.
So I've got here, not terrible, bit of a strange unit in a way. They've got some really big highs. The vomit is really good, although you can't do the supporting attacks of it. The toughness of wounds, we really
good.
like that.
Yeah.
The -1 to be hit, we really like.
Yeah.
But there's big issues as well. The lower regen, the lower weapon skill.
Not access to that 4th attack.
No access to the additional attack. No supporting with the vomits. There's a lot of stuff in there.
I do think the additional attack isn't that big of a deal because if you do run them in 2 or more ranks, you're only getting 3 attacks from the back rank anyway.
Yeah, the front rank getting an additional 4
Yeah.
though is
They're also,
really
we've
big.
got to realise they're also it might not come up because it's not going to come out often. They're also marked, so you can only join by a marked and noble or unmarked model.
Yeah,
Yeah, very good
not
point.
going to come up that often,
Yeah.
but you're right. And I just think at 60 points each,
They
are a lot.
Yeah.
they are
I mean, a river troll-
versus a 35-point troll.
I think a
45
river troll
for a
is
river troll.
45 points, isn't it? Yeah.
So
yeah, 20 points. That's a lot for losing a Pippa regen.
gain a point of toughness and a wound. I mean, like I say,
It's a
they're
lot.
I've put them at a 1 for cost, and they're probably about 55, 60 points, really, in real terms, because of the extra wounds and stuff. But rare slot, huge opportunity
That
cost.
loss of weapon skill as
And
well.
the loss of
Like
weapon
you
skill,
say,
I think, is rubbish.
Although that might have been to balance out the fact
it was to
that
try and balance out.
if you fail your fear check, you'd be hitting them on 6s. If their weapon skill
No, 'cause in this book,
in this one, if you're using combat,
You were
it's
-1 weapon skill against them.
What's
So
the 0?
It was to
Ah,
balance
okay.
out the idea that you would
No.
be weapon skill 3
Yeah.
and then -1 off of them.
Yeah,
you know,
to
I
still
think.
hit them
But
before,
I get what they were trying to do. They were
Mm-hmm.
trying to not be accused of having something that was really broken. But I think unfortunately they're just too problematic. If they were special, maybe. But when I'm competing against Hell Cannons, when I'm
Skull
competing
Crushers.
against Skull Crushers,
That
which are
Chaos Giant that's going to
really
deck buildings.
strong. Both of those are really, really strong, and it's hard to look
Yeah.
past them. And there's actually a lot of other stuff in the Chaos Rare slot. Most of it is not very good. But,
There's
Spawn?
there's
Take
two.
Chaos Spawn?
There's 2 things. There's 2 things in the rest lot.
Giants and spawns.
Giants and Dragon Ogre Shaggos.
Oh,
Dragon Ogre Shagoffs, yeah.
Spawns.
Mutant 4-6 base. Slaughter
Yeah,
Brutes.
Slaughter Brutes. There's a lot in
Yeah.
there, and I think they just, for me, they're not going to get taken.
No.
Sorry. So let's move on to a woolly boy next.
Oh, we're going the Woolly Boy.
Yeah, we are. I've done it slightly,
Whoa!
slightly differently because these ones are the ones that can only be taken by Warriors of Chaos.
Oh, okay,
So I've started with them.
Makes sense.
So these are this is the Chaos War Mammoth.
Mm-hmm.
It comes in with a competitive rating of 18 out of 24.
I'm quite surprised at the high.
Yeah, pretty good.
Well, there are just immutable elements that you have to give him points
There's
for.
lots of very high numbers in his
There's
stat line,
lots.
isn't there?
Initiative 1 is not one of them.
Not one of them.
He's a rare choice for a Chaos Army again, so now we've got another thing that is competing against this in a rare slot. 4 for strength of attacks, he's just the strength of 10. 4 for number of attacks because he's got
like a giant.
a thunderstorm,
Yeah.
he's got the Giants
Yeah.
chart, it's all a bit wild. He's got 3 for his special rules, he calls his Terror, he's immune to Psych, pretty good
Yeah.
combos.
Yeah.
He has got a 2 for his manoeuvrability, he's moving 8,
Good, mate.
which is good.
Not bad.
It's not bad. He's got 4 for survivability, being toughness 7 with 10 wounds, ridiculously. But I only gave him a 1 for cost, guys, because he's really, really pricey.
550 points.
550.
Without any
Before you buy him
upgrades.
any upgrades.
Yeah. Out of your rare slot, he's
He's your entire rare slot.
yeah, he's a big pill to swallow.
2.5.
Yeah.
At 2.5 that. So
Shall I start talking?
I tell you what, I'm gonna explain my notes, and
Go on
then you can just go.
Read a page and a half.
You
of
can
rules.
literally go hog wild. Okay. To really get into the rule, we will have to look at his mountain of rules. I've got here. Opted for a 4 for number of attacks because there's just so much going on with him. You'll see that in a minute. The Howder options is what I gave him a bump on for his special rules. He's got lots of stuff he can do with a Howder that's actually really, really good. And I just think overall he's too expensive, and we'll see why. That's all I've put here because we're going to have to do this mad partner. Movement 8, weapon skill 3, BS 1, not going to shoot. Strength 10, toughness 7, 10 wounds. Initiative 1 is poor. Leadership 5 is also not great.
He's also not a colossal beast
No.
So anything that kills him will just instant kill him.
I don't want to say that when this book came out, I played one, and I don't want to say that I Pierce Shades didn't kill it on turn 2.
Imagine you purple sun it and you roll 10 dice to get 10 more dice back.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even have that. I just Pierce Shades.
Just put Shades down. I mean, you've killed 550 points with one spell. I think you could probably forego getting the dice back from the
Yeah,
Red
probably let that go.
No, I want it all. I want to eat my cake. I want to have my cake and eat it.
He is immune psych, which really helps with the fact that he's only leadership 5 unless you purchase the War Shrine for him, which makes him leadership 8. So you really need to keep him nearby the general.
Yes.
He isn't unbreakable or stubborn, which is huge with that poor
If he loses
leadership.
combat, he is
Got to
probably
pay those
off.
big numbers.
He does have to actually lose combat though, so
Yeah, he does.
Which he can do because he's quite random again.
yeah. He's tough to win though.
Shall we go
He
in?
is.
Really?
Yeah,
Let's go for it.
let's start with the mammoth attacks.
You've tried to
Put it
avoid
off
this
for as
one.
long as possible.
We've done what we can.
So, Chaos Mouths are huge beasts that rely on their near unstoppable mass and tree trunk-sized tusks to gouge and crush their foes. When a Chaos Mammoth attacks, roll on the appropriate table to determine its action. So, Mammoth attacking swarms, infantry, cavalry, or war beasts. You get trample, stomp, bellow, pick up, and. Mammoth attacking any other targets, you get butt, gore, and bellow.
I love that they've done that the complete opposite way round to the giant.
Yes. So,
Which feels like the way around the giant
That it probably should be, yeah.
But, you know.
Trample is the mammoth tramples and crushes the enemy, splattering its victims like overripe fruit beneath its feet. A single enemy unit fights suffers D6 strength 10 hits for each rank of 5 or more models it has.
Ooh. Ooh. I'm going to go into that like 6 deep unit of anything.
But bus of Skaven slaves,
Those-
8 deep,
those
8
Skaven
D6.
slaves.
Of course, then he gets cracks called next turn.
The mammoth then has Stomp. The mammoth does not make normal attacks this turn, but its Thunder Stomp causes 4d6 hits instead.
Oh dear,
The problem is, and this is how I've played him a couple of times. This is where I charged him with a unit. I saw him get charged with a unit of Empire Knights. I wasn't actually playing. I was watching. He got flanked by a unit of Empire Knights and rolled that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Can't
that's
attack.
rough.
Loses combat. Leadership 5.
Yeah.
I'm off. You just
Yeah.
run him down. And that's that random element for a really expensive model that you've got. It's just tough, you know.
Yeah.
Then we have Bellow. So the mammoth trumpets and roars deafening force. The army fielding the mammoth automatically wins the combat by 3.
So it's a better yellow ball.
better.
Yeah.
Yep. Then we all have the ever classic yellow pickup band.
Pick a band.
So pick a model.
It's agile trunk.
Pick a model in base contact. The model can make a single attack to fend off the trunk. If the attack hits and wounds the mammoth, then the mammoth attack fails.
No pressure.
Difficult,
It's
it's
up
up
to
to
7.
7, yeah.
So
That ghoul gets a 6. Poison.
and then,
Put me down now.
and then loses combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the results are 1 to 2, thrown back in combat. The victim is hurled back into their own unit like a missile. This causes D6 wounds on the grab model with no armor saving throws allowed.
He's dead.
And then 2d6 strength 4 hits, saves as normal on the enemy units.
Yeah, that's a
There's
bit
no
rubbish.
guarantee that it's going to do a lot of damage.
3 to 4 is hurl, exactly the same way as throw back in combat, except you may pick a unit within 18 inches.
So you just chuck
18?
it at someone
Giant's
nearby.
one's 12.
Yeah, I mean it's a mammoth.
It's a mammoth.
It's
They
an
are huge models.
Yeah.
agile trunk.
It isn't agile trunk.
5, 8, remove the model's casualty.
I think he gains a wound as well if he does that.
Yeah,
He gets a wound.
The mammoth may immediately recover a single lost wound his previous loss in the game.
Hilarious.
And then 6 is squash and grab another. So you models removes the casualty and then you may pick another victim.
Lovely. Does it keep doing that one?
Yep. No, this can. No,
You roll each side.
No, this can happen repeatedly if you keep rolling 6s.
Oh yes, I love it.
Squish.
Alright,
amazing.
so that's all. That's all.
That's your little stuff.
That's all your little stuff. Then we have the big stuff. So Bellow is the 6th result, so we don't need to go over that again. We have Butt. So the mammoth charges, ramming its victim with its massive head. Inflicts 1 automatic hit against 1 model in base contact, your choice, causing D3 strength 10 hits with a multiple wounds D3 special roll.
You could do 9 wounds there.
Yeah.
And then its final one is Gore. The mammoth gouges at the enemy with its massive tusk. The mammoth makes D6 attacks against its chosen unit in close combat with HKB.
HKB's nice. The attacks is a shame.
Yeah,
I like to
so-
think he grabs him with the agile trunk and slams him onto the tusk.
Yeah, the fact it's the only one you've got to roll to hit with.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Although I suppose it is aiming.
Yeah, and it's HKB, so you only need 1 to get through.
Essentially, yeah.
But you like 6.
You'd love
Of course
6.
you would.
So that's all of his attacks. The main bulk of this now is the Haldars.
So this is worth us just explaining. He starts at 550. You can pay, I believe it's 50
for the Howdah.
for the Howdah.
Yep.
And I think it's 100
Or
for a war
100 for a
The
war
War
shrine.
Shrine, in
yeah.
which then you can add in upmarked War Shrines as well.
Yeah.
And then, so the Chaos War Shrine may be devoted then to a power of Chaos, and you pay an additional
Between
supplement for that.
30 and 50, I think.
50 for Khorne and Nurgle, 40 for Tzeentch, 30 for Slash.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about what all of that does.
Right, so the Battle Haldar. Several profiles shown as otherwise treated as a building in the Warhammer rules of following provisions, which means the Chaos Siege Giant
can always hit it, regardless of the scenario. Toughness 6 with 6 wounds.
Yeah, so
Not easy to kill.
no. The Battle Haldar can carry up to a single unit of infantry and or infantry characters drawn from the Warriors of Chaos army book, totaling no more than 20 models. The unit may move into
Warriors on the back's good.
and out of the Battle Haldar exactly as it would a building, but other units may not use the Battle Haldar. Units may not get out or leave the Battle Haldar if the mammoth moves that turn or intends to move.
Okay, so
they
you
can't
can't get out and then the mammoth
then
move.
the mammoth
That's a shame.
walks
The
off.
mammoth has to like sit down for them to hop out.
I mean, unless
It
the
makes
Warriors-
sense.
It does.
Unless they're
jump.
repelling.
jump off, they would die.
I wish it had rules for jumping off.
This unit may be targeted by shooting attacks exactly as per a unit garrison of buildings.
So minus 2 to
cover.
hit.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Haldar's chains of weapons, any unit carried by the Haldar counts as being armed with throwing axes while carried on board. Strength 5 throwing axe, Warriors Chaos.
Yeah.
I think they're Blitzkrieg 5. No, they're Blitzkrieg 3.
They're not.
3.
They're Blitzkrieg
Yeah.
3. The Battle Haldar can be targeted separately by shooting attacks and in close combat by any monster or model counts as being itself a large target. It may not otherwise be stormed as a normal building might, and if the mammoth is charged, the carrier unit does not make any charge reactions.
So you can't stand and shoot with throwing axes.
If the Battle Haldar is destroyed and the mammoth is slain, every model carried inside at the point must pass an initiative test or be removed as a casualty. Good thing you're on like initiative 5.
Yeah.
Doesn't particularly matter. Survivors are then placed in a single unit next to the mammoth or where it stood. Up to 5 models carried by the Haldar may use a shooting attack, any shooting attacks they possess, exactly as if firing from a building on the proviso that
Proviso.
that the mammoth has moved, then the unit carried it also counts as having moved.
I was going to let you get away with Haldar.
So,
Haldar.
Haldar.
so just so we're all clear, guys, the Howdah gives them throwing axes, but only 5 of them can throw them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the mammoth is in combat, then the shooting attacks may be used against a single unit in close combat with
Nice.
the mammoth. The unit in the Battle Haldar also otherwise too high up to fight.
Yeah, can't do anything else.
But you can chuck 5 throwing axes at them.
The Battle Haldar also has a 4-up arm save.
So you can hit toughness 6 for a farmer. It's Laura Plastic. It's made of wood, by the way. When you look at one.
Could it? Yeah, I suppose you could. Does it say you can target with spells or just shooting?
May be targeted separately by shooting attacks and in close combat by any monster or model counts as
Oh,
Can't
so
target with
just
spells. Just building. You can't target
Yeah, I
building.
guess so. Yeah. Cool.
Stab
War
the
Shrine.
mammoth instead.
I just like the fact that Siege Giants can go, I'm having that.
Yeah. That is hilarious.
Just that man, the man's ready to HK beer.
Yeah.
He's just going, I'm having
I
that.
don't give a damn. I'll go before you. I'm the shit free.
Yells and balls.
Yeah, some balls. Mammoth runs away.
Take your
catches it.
leadership. Take your leadership free check.
I'm starting to see
That's
that.
amazing.
Just in my head, it's like Lord of the Rings: Return of the King when you see the elephant in the background and the army of the dead are like track it down. That's him.
I'm now seeing the use of the Siege Giant more and more these days. So then we have the Chaos War Shrine.
Oh,
So
there's
rather,
so much rules.
yeah, rather than having the Battle Haldar to carry troops into the thick of the fight, up to one mammoth in the Warriors Chaos Army may instead carry one of the dark tribal war shrines of the Chaos Marauders. The War Shrine may be targeted separately by shooting attacks and in close combat by any monster that has itself large targets. If a War Shrine is taken as an upgrade, then its leadership score is used by the mammoth instead of its own while it survives.
The War Shrine is toughness 6 and only has 4 wounds, however.
Yeah.
And
It has a
leadership 8.
leadership
It is
eight.
leadership 8.
Yeah.
Big
So it has a
improvement.
4 armor save. And you can also give them marks. So, if the War Shrine carries a mark of Nurgle, its effects applies to both the War Shrine and the mammoth that carries it while it survives.
Minus 1
So
to
might
hit.
as well hit. Mark of Khorne. If the War Shrine carries a mark of Khorne, the mammoth may reroll the number of attacks it has as the result of one of its attacks types, but is also subject to the Berserk Rage special rule while
Same
it
as the
survives.
giant.
So
Same
it
as
has
the
to
giant.
charge
Yeah.
us overall. And its leadership is not great.
Yeah.
It's only 8.
So Marker Zinch. If the War Shrine carries the Marker Zinch, then the ward save of both it and the Mammoth is increased to 4+ while it survives.
Ooh,
That's amazing.
Nice. Yeah,
So
that's
this
really
is
good.
this is back in the old one, which the War Shrine had a 5+ ward save.
Yeah.
So it has a War Shrine. So these days, a War Shrine is a 4 ward save base.
That wouldn't change this.
No,
though.
it
wouldn't change
increases
this?
to a 4.
No, it increases its ward save to a 4+.
So
It's already a 4.
You're not going to give me a 3 ward save counter
No.
War Mammoth?
No,
The War Mammoth itself will get a 4 ward save.
that's amazing.
That's really good.
Yep, and then Master Nesh, if the War Shrine carries a Master Nesh, the Mammoth carrying it has Stubborn.
That's good.
That is better.
So at least you paid.
Yeah, at least you
And
paid
that's
stubborn.
also only 30 points. So that's the cheapest
Yeah.
That is the cheapest of the lot, yeah.
To be honest, I reckon I'd go Slanesh or Zinch if I was going for it.
one. I would as well.
The only thing is you can only do that in a big game. Can't do it
Yeah,
too
like
far.
3K,
Yeah, because
really.
I'm on 680 points
Yeah.
for one and 700 for the other.
Yeah.
Sorry, 690 for the
690.
other. Sorry.
So
What
3K.
are they the two cheapest? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's fun. He's a fantastic model.
He's 18 as well. He's got a lot of good stuff going
yeah,
on.
Yeah, he's very
But
scary.
he's very expensive.
He is very expensive.
He's very expensive.
Which really lets him down.
Anything else to say on to it, so I can give my voice a rest?
No, I'd like to move on. I am going to hop in now
Okay.
on Plague
It's Toads, isn't it?
Toad of Nurgle, which come in with a competitive rating of 13 out of 24. We have sort of gone
We've
down.
peaked.
Yeah, we've peaked.
For now.
Yeah, no, we really have peaked.
Oh dear.
So they get 2 for strength attacks. They're only strength 4. 3 for number of attacks. That is really poor as well. I mean, it's a good number on here, but it's actually quite poor for what they are. 3 for special rules. 1 for maneuverability. 2 for survivability. 2 for cost. So these are a special choice in a Warriors of Chaos army, or they could be a core choice in your Demons of Chaos armies. Now, it is worth pointing out that their rules are changed somewhat when used in our events.
Yes.
So they at this point, Demons Wood did exist in the game at this point in time.
Yeah, the rules were different though.
The rules were different.
These guys use the rules that are presented here if you take them in a Warriors of Chaos army. So they are unbreakable, unstable, immune to psychology, fear, poison attacks, and ward save. 5+.
Magical attacks.
And magical attacks.
And magical, and demonic attacks. Randomly, that's not in the list. That's
Nope.
put above it.
Yep.
If you take them in a
Demons.
Demons
Chaos
army, they get
They
Demonic
get demonic
instability,
instability, so they
yeah.
swap unbreakable, unstable, ward save for demonic instability.
Do we also give them the Mark of Nurgle?
no.
No, but they do treat. They are treated as a demon of Nurgle
For
for
epidemics.
Epidemis' tally and demonic alignment,
So they
and
aren't.
monogod bonuses.
But they aren't -1 to hit.
They are not -1.
Yeah, which is rather odd because they are ugly.
Yeah, they are plague. You feel like they should have mark / demon.
And this guy's in a world of trouble.
But-
I don't know what's going on with this guy
But
here.
they are only 24
They are
points,
very cheap.
which is actually quite cheap. Now they are.
Movement 6, which is not slow, particularly in a demon's army.
No, they are only 2 wounds, which
2
is a
wounds.
little bit disappointing. But they are
Yeah.
toughness 4 with a 5 ward.
Yes. Toughness 4. So you can't not compare him to a beast.
It's difficult, isn't it, to
So they're
compare them to a
core.
beast?
They are
They
cool.
are cool, but they are significantly
Epi
worse than a beast. But they are.
Epi's going to get a look out, sir. Is he? No, monstrous
No,
cavalry.
it's monstrous. He does against. It does in the other unit.
Yeah, he does in the other unit.
The ridden
Pox
ones.
Riders, you would get.
Epi
another, so.
can't join that, you know. Oh, the Pox Riders.
Yeah, the
okay,
Riders,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, the
Yeah. I mean, they're what, a third of the points, just over. Of the
And
beast.
beasts are really too cheap.
fantastically undercosted.
Way too cheap. At least 10 points, if not more.
Fantastically.
They should
a
be
beast is the same
75
points as a plague troll.
Yeah, he is actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're ridiculous.
That blows my mind.
But these guys, toughness 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks. They got a stomp, which
Actually,
is
24 points ain't bad.
No, it's not bad. I think they're a lot better in a demon's army than they are in a warrior's
they're
army.
also on a 40 mil as well, so they're on a smaller base.
Yeah, and I think that's because they sort of fill a niche in the demon's army that the warriors don't really have an issue with, which is chaff.
Yeah.
They're really good chaff. All right, they're not particularly manoeuvrable, but they're quicker, particularly if you go all Nurgle, they're quicker than your blocks. And
Yeah.
they're as quick as your beasts.
To be honest, units of 3 would make good chaff.
Yeah. Nice and cheap.
72 points.
Decent amount
Really
of attacks that they'll probably get through other chaff
Yep.
reasonably well.
Other chaff will still struggle to get through
Yeah.
them.
War machines, they'll absolutely deck a war machine.
We let them get buffed by the tally as well.
Yeah,
will
which makes them
help.
very good.
I do love the fact that in my combined chaos army I can have pigs, elephants, and frogs.
And they do also have poison attacks, which is really
Which
nice
is nice.
touch. So I don't think they're all bad. They're also good for Highlander.
Yes.
So
It's
there's
just
a lot of reasons to think
2
about.
wounds,
Yeah.
2 attacks is just.
Yeah, it's a shame, but I think just look at them as chaff.
Yeah.
Just almost look at them as like 2 cavalry models, which is not quite right for base size and everything, but they're effectively 2 like war beast models.
They're 120 wide in that formation in a 3x1 stick, which is
roughly 5 cav.
Yeah, 6
5
cavalry
mil
is what 125.
5 cavalry.
Oh, 5 cavalry is 125.
So they're roughly 5 cav wide.
Yeah.
And they're really cheap.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like them
70
for
odd, 72 points.
that. I don't
They're
dislike them in
Furies.
that role at all. I think
72
they're
points.
alright.
They're a unit of 5 Furies.
So
Solid.
that's probably the way we would go with them. The attacks are the real hurt for me.
Yeah.
With them, the wounds are not great either, but and I think for warriors they just have access to better unbreakable units and better chaff.
Yeah.
So for me, they only really fit in.
Warriors only have access to 2 unbreakable units.
Yeah, but they're
3.
better.
A Demon Prince and Hellcannon and a Spawn.
Oh, okay, remember that.
Demon Prince and Hellcannon are much better.
Yeah. They are also only leadership 5,
Yeah.
which
Well,
when they're
yeah,
unstable doesn't matter. When they're demonic instability does.
I mean,
But
he's the only-
you need to be in the general's
Yeah.
inspiring presence. But then you don't care if you use them as chaff.
No.
So-
true.
The model's also really nice as well. Again, I'm just going to put this out there.
They are.
Yeah, they are really cool.
They are really nice.
So finishing our flanking
Shut up,
units
son.
with another amphibian element. Is Pox Riders of Nurgle. So we've gone from the dizzying lows of 13 out of 24 on the Plague Toads
How high are we going, James?
to
give me a height.
14 out of 24.
Oh,
So,
God,
you,
it's so
so
high.
you're telling me a plague bearer is a 1 out of 24? Is that what you're telling me?
On this he is.
It's so high, I can't take it.
So you are now looking at it basically exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Except they're the special slot for demons only.
Yeah, warriors can't take
No
them.
warriors this time.
Because they have a demon, an actual demon.
Um,
What I
on the back
don't
of
get-
it.
They're a toad with a plague bearer on the back.
What I don't get here is that the Plague Bearer itself has 1 wound, yeah?
Yep.
The Champion has 2 wounds.
The champion has 2 wounds.
The Champion has 2 wounds, but then the Plague Toad has 2 wounds anyway, so it makes no difference.
No.
That I feel like is a misprint.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter anyway because
may-
the 2 wound. They are 2 wound monstrous cavalry. They do give Epidemus to look at, sir.
Yes.
They do.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
they have.
unit you can go in that will
They
give them a
have
look at it.
all of the same rules that the plague toads had.
Mhm. And swap for the same rules that the plague toads do in our pack
Yeah.
for demons.
Exactly the same. And the plague bearer on the back in this version, I don't think he has poison attacks.
Because he doesn't have a plague
Doesn't have a
sword.
plague sword, I
Is that
don't
what it's
think.
called?
Because obviously this was
Pre-8 Fed Demons book.
pre the 8-Fit Demons book, yeah.
Plague Swords.
Plague swords, which are just hand weapons in this book,
Which count as hand weapons, so yeah.
not a
no
magic
poison.
weapon.
Rubbish.
They
Yeah.
can take full command, and they do only pay 5 points for the musician, though. Which is nice.
No. Poison attacks is just general poison attacks. Doesn't specify what part.
Ah,
what-
okay. If you go
Oh,
back onto
okay.
their page, does it not say poison attack bracket plague toad?
No, I think it doesn't.
No.
So
Yeah,
they
sorry.
would
So they
still
have
have
poison
poison.
attack.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
lovely. It's all got poison.
Can they take a
still,
magic gun
all
or-
the time? They
Nah,
can't.
please.
They can.
No.
They can't.
Oh, okay. I was
Please.
going to say.
Um,
Way to get
The
flamed.
musician's only worth 5 points though.
Yeah, that's
And they're
not
only
a bad
35.
choice for them.
Um,
Yeah, leadership 7 because they've got a plague bearer.
But now they
Yeah.
are now competing against beasts.
Yeah, they are.
yeah. This would the reason to have these would be for ablative
Highlander.
wounds for your Epidemus, like
Possibly.
look at Sir, I think, or for
Possibly.
Highlander. That's really the only reason I would take them.
And to be honest, I don't think Epi needs to look at sir.
No,
If you're that worried about him, hide him on his own behind
The
like
building.
some the building that Chaos Siege Giant's going to charge.
And devastate and then override it into Epidemus after it destroys the building.
I've just got here that the power of the existing demons units in the special slot in particular mean that
Yeah.
this is just something that's not going to appear.
It's not
Not
needed.
really. Look, maybe if you're doing a mono god Highlander list, you might. I think you're more likely to see the toads rather than the riders, even in that sort of list. But you could.
I'd probably take the toads in core. Probably wouldn't bother with the riders. Probably just take
Possibly
a big
not.
unit of beasts, big unit of flies,
Yeah, Nurglings and Furies for your
and
chaff.
a soul grinder. I'd spend the
Maybe.
points for him on a
Yeah.
Nurgle soul grinder, another big monster,
Yeah,
big hard
maybe.
hitter.
Maybe.
I think
You are running out of points very fast.
Alan Benison did that list,
He did.
and it was literally as we are
Yeah,
describing
yeah, it had a guo in it as well.
it. Yep. So
A
there,
duo.
A guo.
there you go. That's it. That's the flanking units.
Cool. We're through the units.
Yeah, not
Not great.
overall, not really, not great. There, not really any of them great in a way. There's
I'd be
some,
tempted-
there's some powerful chunks, but there's a lot of drawback.
I'm
as
tempted to
well.
take the giant just for the memes.
just for fun. So we're going to move on now to the characters. We're going to begin with the book's namesake. That's Tamurkhan on the Maggot Lord in Sargath this time.
Yeah, first,
So
first,
it's his
first
first
round.
profile.
Yeah.
The first round for him. We're going to talk a lot more on this one, and then we'll talk very little on the second profile,
Yes.
I imagine.
So Tamurkhan is like a.
He's a mag, he's a worm.
He's magically a little.
His true form is a maggot. It's about a 5 foot maggot.
Yeah, it's a parasite. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yep.
It's basically a parasite, and he leeches on to other living things and uses that body basically.
Burrows into the flesh, eats the insides, and uses the body.
Uses the body.
Yeah. Wears it like a puppet.
Which I must admit is got to be the most terrifying way to die.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is absolutely horrific.
On himself, he's horrendous.
Yes.
So
and he does all that sitting on the back of a toad dragon.
he does it. So he unfortunately only gets a 14 out of 24 though.
Yeah, not great.
So he gets 2 for output, and this I know you're going to be shocked by, but we'll talk about why. 4 for special rules, 1 for synergy, 1 for risk, 4 for survivability, and 2 for cost. He is expensive.
So in Saga, he's 645 points.
So if I start with his stat line, weapon skill 7.
Yep.
Good, but not the weapon skill 8 that a Chaos Lord is, and he is a
But
Lord
he
choice.
is a worm.
Uh,
You can forgive him that. He is a worm.
He is a Lord choice though.
He's also got 1 less movement. He's movement 3.
Yeah,
He's a worm.
strength 5, toughness 5, same as a Chaos Lord, 3 wounds, same as a Chaos Lord, initiative 5, so 2 points less than a Chaos Lord.
Yep.
Yeah, that's rough.
4 attacks, so 1 less than a Chaos Lord, leadership 9 is
Same as
nice.
Chaos Lord.
So we couldn't really give him anything, he doesn't have the stats for
The
Chaos
stats of
Lord.
a Chaos Lord.
So we couldn't
no.
give him anything for that. So we gave him 1 for his mount and 1 for the fact his mount's got a thunderstorm, which is why his output is 2. You could say we're being harsh and give him a 3rd point if you want, based on the
Still
fact
only
that
makes him a 15,
he's on
which
the
isn't
dragon.
great.
yeah, not the best.
No.
No.
So
And the dragon, sort of output wise, is the same as a normal toad dragon.
We'll have to, after we've done both
One of his
sides of
forms
it,
is a bit different, but
after we've done both sides of Tamurkhan,
we'll go on to the,
Shall we go to-
page of dragon
do
rules.
you want to do the dragon rules after both? Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
They're
Right,
both on it.
let's start with this then. So he's mounted on the toad dragon, which we'll come back to as the chieftain says in a moment. There are good elements about this guy.
Yeah. So yeah, Feast of the Maggot Lord. So this is special rules. This is his main gimmick.
Jam.
His
Yeah.
main jam. If Tamurkhan's current body is slain, the true beast inside, a rotting maggot-like parasite, will immediately attempt to attack and possess a new host, gnawing its way beneath their flesh and consuming their brain and organs from within.
Lovely. Delicious.
Terrifying.
Organ soup.
So the possession attack. Organ soup.
Organ soup.
Nice fish brain soup.
Yeah.
Lovely.
If Tamurkhan is slain in close combat, a special possession attack is made against the model that delivered the final wound to Tamurkhan. If Tamurkhan death occurs as a result of a shooting attack or other means, the attack will be made against the nearest eligible model, friend or enemy within 6 inches. If multiple models fall into this category, Tamurkhan's player chooses which to attack. Both players roll a d6 and add the weapon skill value of the respective models. If the result was a draw, roll again until one side wins. If Tamurkhan player wins, the victim is killed outright and their body is possessed. From then onwards, Tamurkhan takes over the victim model, which is detached from its unit and placed 1 inch away from it. The model is now controlled by Tamurkhan's player for the rest of the game, exactly as was their own character model. Only infantry and monstrous infantry are eligible to be possessed.
So, if you get killed by a monster, you don't make any possession attack, you just die.
Unless the same is 6 inches.
Yeah.
No, that's if he's not in combat. So if you get killed by a monster in combat, he just dies.
Yeah.
Because you only do the 6 inch thing if he's not in combat.
And just to remind
If
everyone,
a result of shooting or other means.
yeah, magic spells.
Yeah.
That means.
Purple Sun, you survives Purple Sun, survives Purple Sun to be possessing something else.
That's so stupid. So the thing here is to remember is that if you are mounted on a ridden monster, you are not infantry. You are monster. So you can't eat a guy off the back of a ridden
That's
monster.
like a dragon.
You gotta be you've got to be careful on what you're fighting. You gotta be careful. With
You've
looking
basically
around,
just got to go into units.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So the
Not
possessed.
cavalry.
The possessor profile modifiers as shown previously are applied to the victim's model profile, but any wounds they previously suffered are still in effect. So for example, if a model has only 1 wound remaining when it is possessed, it now has 2 wounds, including the +1 for possession modifier. The modifier
Yeah,
itself...
we should talk about the possession profile.
So there are 3 profiles for Tamurkhan. You have Sargath, the Tyrant, which we're going to get to in a second, and the Possessor. So this is what happens if you possess something throughout the
If he
game.
dies and then possesses something else.
Yeah. His movement is modified by -1.
That's the thing he's possessing
Yeah.
movement. So you
Yeah.
take the base stats of the thing you're
And then
taking over.
Yeah, then apply
Not
it.
that this
And
is
apply the
confusing.
Weapon skill stays 7, physical stays is 3.
3.
Strength is the same as the possessed model stats, so whatever the strength is of the model.
Yeah.
Toughness is increased by 1, their wounds is increased by 1, or whatever their wounds are at the point
At
of
that
possession.
point.
Remaining wounds, yeah.
Your initiative is reduced by 1, the attack stays the same as the possessed, and you keep leash of 9. Right, so Tamurkhan now uses any weapons or armor saves the victim had, including magical types, discarding both his own and any other equipment the victim has. Likewise, any enemy mounts are not used. Monstrous mounts now count as having their rider slain, and any ability the victim has as a wizard is lost.
So again, now it's saying monstrous mounts can be possessed, and that's because the rulebook FAQ probably came after this, because people were trying to kill and blow you off the back of a monster, and that's changed. So
any enemy mounts are not used.
Full drill, man.
Monstrous mounts now count as having their rider slain.
So that suggests
you can do it.
You can do it to, for instance, cavalry, and the dude on top would count as because it says mounts aren't used. So your cavalry mount isn't used. Your Monfang mount, for instance,
but they're not infantry or monstrous infantry. That's so stupid.
Yes.
Right, just disregard that part because
it
just doesn't make any sense.
Unless it's an FAQ in the Tamurkhan FAQ, which I don't think...
Tamurkhan did get an FAQ.
They did get an FAQ because Chaos Store's got quite a big one.
I think it was just Chaos Store also. I don't think it was Tamurkhan. I think it was only a fit.
There might be bits and pieces.
We'll have a look.
If there's no eligible model available or the possession attack fails, Tamurkhan is killed outright. Tamurkhan's power cannot save him if he's destroyed by an attack that causes the model to be slain outright.
He can't possess someone from Battle Sun.
It even says the law of death spell Purple Son of Xeris, for example.
Yeah, so also the last line of the previous paragraph, this includes any special rules the victim formerly used other than a unit type.
Wow.
So
there is a caveat to that in his bestiary section. So if the possessed model had scaly skin or regeneration, he does keep that.
Yeah, if Tamurkhan possesses another character, the special rules from Tamurkhan's host form are not retained with the following exceptions if relevant. Scaly skin, regeneration, and monstrous infantry.
Which isn't a special rule, it's a unit type, but we'll let them we know what they mean.
Glide past it.
Yeah.
Right, so, and the next rule is Nurgle's favoured son. So if Tamurkhan is taken as part of an army, he must always be its general. Such is his pride, he will kneel before none but his rotten father in plague.
Lovely.
And then he also has Will of the Gods, not a rule
doesn't exist anymore.
Eye of the Gods, Mark of Nurgle, Unbreakable, and Fear.
Lovely.
So he's unbreakable, which is quite
The Unbreakable is good.
Yeah.
Last bit, there can only be one though. Only one Tamurkhan model can ever be chosen as part of your army, and that may either be in a Sargath body or that of the Ogre Tyrant. In either case, Tamurkhan is a lord choice for Warriors Chaos
I love that there must have been people in playtesting that thought, can I have Sargoth and the Tyrant?
Yeah.
That's a lot of points.
So 645 for this version.
Yes.
I've just got...
We've got another version to do in a minute.
Yeah.
He's got a different weapon as well. You've got Tamurkhan's Rune Blade, which is a magic weapon carried by Sargath only. Attacks with the Rune Blade, armor piercing, and inflicts multiple wounds too.
That's all
Not
right.
bad. Yeah,
it's
not
not
bad.
bad. Strength 5 1 piercing is good. I've just got here. He's got some good elements. He's unbreakable. Large as monsters, which we'll get to in a minute. On the Toad Dragon, he's good. His output is a little bit lackluster though for a Chaos Lord.
Yeah.
No synergy offered really, other than the bigger inspired
What he
presence.
also doesn't specify, unless it specifies in the Pueblos thing.
Huge base size as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't say if he dies on top of the Toad Dragon, he gets
Then
back
he gets off the Toad Dragon.
He gets back onto the Toad Dragon.
What does it say when he says he's slain? Is anything there?
No, because it says here the model is removed from the
so
enemies
you
and
take
placed,
over the other model.
which means you don't go back on the
You
Toad
won't
Dragon.
go back on the
So
Toad
then
Dragon.
Pueblos is
Has
just
to take
run.
monster reaction and just runs around on his own.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay, wonderful.
So that's Sargath.
Wonderful. So let's take a look at the Tyrant form now.
Thankfully, there's not a lot of differences,
Which
really.
comes in with 16 out of 24. So very similar.
Couple
It's exactly the same for special rules. 4, synergy 1, risk 1, survivability 4, cost 2. But his output goes from 2 to 4 because he has a great weapon now. So his attacks are made of strength 7.
Yeah.
He's a great weapon. It specifically says
Yeah.
Great
I just
weapon.
mean
He does as extra stuff.
He also has, I think, the basic stats of a Tyrant this time,
Basic,
rather
so
than
it's-
not having the basic stats for Chaos.
His stat line is movement 5, weapon skill 7, ability skill 3, strength 5, toughness 6, 6 wounds, initiative 3, 5 attacks, leadership 9. So he's 1 higher toughness than a Tyrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Strength and attacks wise, he's a Tyrant though.
and the weapon skill higher than
The
a Tyrant.
6th wound is a bit good though.
Yeah, 6 wins is good.
So, as James said, all the rules for possession and everything like that stays the same. There is no difference. All his other rules stay the same. Still Noble's favoured son. The only difference here is that he gets the black cleaver instead of the rune blade because the Tyrant broke the rune blade.
Oh.
So the Black Cleaver is a great weapon and follows all the usual rules for this. In addition, any model that suffers a wound from the weapon and survives must take a toughness test or suffer a permanent reduction of -1 to their toughness.
Now, there's nothing that says that is not cumulative.
No, it can be cumulative.
Can that be cumulative?
In addition, any model that suffers a wound from the weapon and survives must take a toughness test or suffer a permanent reduction.
So in the second round of combat, would I do it again, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
But,
survive.
yeah, that's the thing is if you would survive, there's
Six
not going to be a
stacks
lot.
strength 7.
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot that survives
Survives,
long enough for you
No.
to get more than one of those.
There's also not going to be a lot that you can be fighting because you're 835 points.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, that's right.
he's Mark and Nurgle as well, worth pointing out, -1 to be hit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to... He himself causes fear, but his Toe Dragon causes terror. His Toe Dragon is really what we've got to move on to now. It's going to get
Yes.
wild. So he has a scaly 3+, he's immune to psychology. The dragon itself has a Mark and Nurgle, why not? It causes terror, it's a large target. It's really horrible.
So this is
Colossal Beast.
Bubebelos.
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 Bubebelos. Okay.
Bubebelos.
Lovely.
Not Bubebelos as I've been saying. Bubebelos.
Bubebelos.
Thank you.
So stat-wise for Bubebelos is movement 8, weapon skill 5, strength 8, toughness 7. Weapon skill 5!
That's
Yeah.
really good.
Toughness
Mark of Nurgle.
Toughness 7, 10 wounds, initiative 2, 4 attacks, leadership 7. It's a monster.
So you hit it on 5s with basically everything that isn't like a top tier character.
Yep.
Bubebelos is a beast.
He
Yeah,
really
he
is.
is. Toughness 7 also means
Yeah.
very little's going to shoot
So
through him.
he has the rule Colossal Beast, which I think's the first iteration of this rule. Did this come out before
Yep.
Arcanum?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is the first iteration of this rule. Such as the vast size of the beast, it is uncommonly hard to kill by normal means. Its bulk and resilience is such that arrows and blades are a little more account than pinpricks and even cannon fire and powerful magics must strike at the vitals of such a creature in order to slay it. The creature may only be wounded by attacks of strength 4 or higher, and regardless of an attack strength, the great beast may never be wounded on better than a 4+.
So we changed this in our pack so that
Mhm.
Colossal Beast, you remove the first paragraph of that essentially.
First part, yeah.
they
With strength
can't be
4
wounded
higher.
by strength 4 or higher. We remove that.
So you
But
can wound it.
still wound it.
You can wound it
With
regardless of your strength. are.
bows and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strength
But it can't be wounded on a better score than a 4+, which
No.
means its cannon resilience is ridiculous as well.
If the great beast is subject to a magic spell or special attack that would cause it to be slain outright, it does D6 wounds instead. Can't
Amazing.
double sign it.
no.
Well, you
This
can
is-
do
You
it
can.
twice.
Yeah, this is also a better Colossal Beast than the Colossal Beast in Monstrous Arcanum because
Yeah.
that is a 3+.
Yeah.
Can't be ridden no better than a 3+.
The creature is so massive it can crush dozens beneath its bulk and annihilate great swathes of men with the lash of its tail. The monster's thunderstorm inflicts 2d6 hits. So it can't thunderstorm other monsters.
No, because that's largest of
That's
monsters.
largest
which gives
monster.
it that.
So that's Colossal Beast. As James said, he's got large diet, skeleton 3+, immune psych, Mark and Oval, and terror.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got unspeakable foulness. Bubebelos may exhale a blast of flesh-rotten foulness from its gaping jaws. Any unfortunates caught in its path with this tide of horror suffer the most appalling fate imaginable as their flesh sloughs in the bone and their lungs fill with blood and pus. Descriptive. This is a breath weapon attack, and any model caught within its template is automatically hit and must take a toughness test at -1 or suffer D3 wounds, no arm saves allowed.
Obviously, breath weapon, you can use it in combat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Works exactly the same way.
So, and then its last rule is Tongue Lash. In addition to the Toad Dragon's normal attacks, it may also make a single special lash attack with a foul and venomous slurping tongue. This single attack may be inflicted against any enemy model in base contact with Toad Dragon. It is Strength 4 poison attack for the Always Strikes first rule. Should the victim survive, they suffer -1 to hit that combat turn.
No,
Combined with the Mark and
Combined
Ogle.
with the Mark and Ogle. So,
-2 to hit.
yeah.
At weapon skill 5.
Bubebelos is
7 for Tamurkhan.
Bubebelos is good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he is very good.
Toad Dragon in general are just actually
They
pretty
are.
decent good.
They are, they're just a huge bases. They're
I killed one
drawback.
with the Sabertusk once at Warhammer World.
You'll never let that go.
No, never. Would
Why would
you?
But yeah, Scott, what
21 point Sabertusk!
was,
I mean, he didn't do all 10 wounds, did he?
That is not the point.
what was the best moment of that event, Scott?
It was ruled that a vampire killing 10 goblins in a building was the most remarkable event. Most remarkable thing at that event.
I find them true.
Wonderful.
21 point Sabertusk.
So,
So Tamurkhan is a mixed bag. Really.
845 is it for this
That's for
version?
Tyrant,
Yeah.
For the bigger version. So again, really big points. And this is the thing. There's 835. Sorry.
835.
There's no
Did him a disservice.
gripe to say that he's not filthy. He is filthy,
Yeah,
but
he's
he's a
very good.
load of points, and he really does come with a lot.
He's
of
also a
opportunity
rules
points
mess as well.
Yes.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
rules mess. And on that bombshell, we're going to move on now to a real high point of the Chaos special characters, which is Soul the Faithless, who comes in with a competitive rating of 17 out of 24.
Really
So
solid.
this is good, yeah. 2 for output this time, 3 for special rules, 4 for synergy, 4 for risk, 2 for survivability, and 2 for cost. So this one is a Chaos Sorcerer Lord, basically.
Yep.
He gains a point of weapon skill,
And a point of initiative.
and a point of initiative, and a point of leadership.
He does, yeah. That's actually quite big. So Sorcerer Light's one of the big Sorcerer Lords. The weakness is the leadership.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Yeah.
We like that a lot. Now, he also comes with Nightmare as an option.
Yeah.
And this is sort of a second purchase you can make if you've taken him. It's really unclear in the book. Says that Nightmare doesn't count as
come
the
out
rare
of your
slot.
rare.
Doesn't really tell you where he does come from. But
No.
we are going to say Lord slot because he's purchased as like a sort of an upgrade to the
Sal
Lord.
is a Lord.
So we're going to say rare slot, bit like how the Grail Knights work for
The
the
Fey
Enchantress. So
So Nightmare himself is pretty much a spawn.
we'll come back to him. I've got a whole
Oh, you
separate
got a whole
section for him.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
going to treat him nicely just here.
Okay.
So for this guy, what's great about him? Well, let's start off. He's Law of Magic. He's level 3. Not so good.
Bit of a shame.
He's Law's Heavens, which although isn't the best law, is very
Really
good, for Warriors. Chaos.
Yeah, it's your only access to heavens, obviously.
He allows you to get double bubble with minus it in combat. Give a Eye Sharp
Yeah.
Wizard.
It
So you
also,
fight noble.
I think, crucially, gives you rerolls.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
if you get
phenomenal.
Harmonic
Harmonic
Legends.
Convergence.
Again,
Rerolls for
making
Warriors,
opponents
which
reroll
they just
6s
don't
as
get.
well is massive because
Get
he's
some
got a
magic-
lot of high strength
Get some
attacks.
magic
And
missiles. You don't
Harvesters.
have many magic missiles in the Warriors Chaos Army.
No, and they're
No.
good strength ones as well.
Yeah, really good for clearing chaff, which Warriors struggle with.
Yeah.
It's
Really
like,
good.
just like
Comet, really good for forcing your opponent to come to you because you don't
Particularly when
move
you're
very
combat
fast.
heavy.
especially if Scott's using the Comet because Scott's
Because apparently they're phenomenal when I use
Yeah,
it.
they're
Scott's power to
Yeah.
power to call down the
Scott's
Comet.
power to comet ratio is way off. So, yeah, good. He's got his own spell. This is another one. Another
Yep.
car crash.
Yeah, it is.
Would you like to read it out?
Yeah,
Traitor's
so,
Mist, is it?
in addition to the Law of Heavens or Law of Shadow, he has access to Law of
Oh,
Shadow
he
as
can
well.
take Shadow.
In addition, he
Well,
always knows the spell Traitor's Mist. So it's an augment that's cast on a 6+. This is an augment spell that Sal can cast upon himself. If successful, he may immediately make a move using a fly special rule, as if with the remaining move subphase. In addition, any model, friend or foe, in base contact with him at the start of the move suffers an automatic strength 3 hit with no arm saves allowed.
So why is this a mess? So any model, friend or foe in base contact with him takes strength 3 hit.
Makes you sound like you can use it in combat.
In combat it does, until the part where it says may make a fly move as if
As
it's a
with the
remaining move
remaining move
subphase.
subphase.
As I'm locked in combat,
I can't move.
I can't move in the remaining move subphase.
Especially in base contact. What if he's not in base contact? With
No,
any
because he's in a
model.
unit that's in
Yeah,
combat.
he's in combat.
I'm just trying to...
His unit is in
I'm just
combat.
trying to make it worse than it is.
So it's a mess.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah.
So we would probably go for can't use it in
If
combat.
you're in combat, you can't use it.
I mean, you
because
can
of-
technically use it in combat, just don't get the effects.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think-
hang on. What does it say? The hits thing. What's the exact wording on that?
In addition, any model in base contact at the start of the move suffers an automatic strength 3 hit.
It doesn't make the move.
Yeah, he doesn't make
It's
the
ridiculous.
move.
It's
He doesn't
just
start
silly.
the move. Yeah.
It's just silly.
I mean, you can cast it in combat, you just don't get the benefit of it. So
What's
don't.
the point?
Yeah. What is the point of casting it?
To maybe draw it. If someone doesn't know,
What?
what, someone doesn't know what
Someone
sales,
has no idea what it
so
does.
it's a cheat.
just draw out.
So it's a cheat.
Yeah, really to be that guy
Lovely.
or girl.
Yeah, Heavens has got a really great range to its spells, so you don't really care about this. This is why you take him for Law of Heavens. If you're going to
Yeah.
take Shadow, take a regular level 4, take
Yeah.
Demon Prince, do something, pal,
Yeah.
with your life.
You are biased. We're not judging your life choices here.
Special
You
rules.
sound like you get really just agitated
Yeah.
by saying
They're
that.
just breaking me, these chaos bits. They're just breaking my hobby.
Special rules. Sail has mutant sight.
Lovely.
So Sail's
That's
particular
really good.
mutation has turned his head into a lumpen inhuman mass of boiling flesh.
Poor.
Opening into a single baleful eye which stares through the mortal realm into the spheres beyond time and matter.
All of that is so it says when he channels Power Dice, he does it on a 5 or a 6.
And he rerolls failed characteristics
That
tests.
part,
Really
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
I like the fact that seeing beyond time and matter, I get to dodge out of the way of this.
That you can see what's coming.
But it is good that.
I can use my eyes to see what's coming.
The characteristic test is very good.
Yes.
The,
I mean, none of his characteristics are bad.
No.
So he's probably not going to fail them. But it's for when I've
It's
rolled
when
a
he
6
does
on,
roll a 6
on that dweller's test.
and you save it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a leadership test a characteristic test?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a characteristic
It
test.
doesn't specify leadership.
yeah,
It is a characteristic test, the leadership test.
yeah.
So he gets to reroll
Good,
it.
you know I know that because artillery says it automatically fails any
All
characteristic
characters
test it's
except
called to
toughness and
make
leadership.
except toughness or leadership.
Yeah,
it
so
is
he
a
can reroll
characteristic
5
test.
leadership tests.
3 off. That's pretty good.
That's really good.
I mean, you've got a BSB probably,
Well,
but
yeah,
it's
if your BSB has, content.
Died if he's flown off on his own.
Just this guy sitting back with a unit of trolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Really good. Eye of the Gods. Good. He's got that. Lovely.
One of the gods don't exist.
Don't exist.
Ignore that.
Mutant Psych we discussed. Immune Psychology. Good.
Very good.
So we like all of these. He's unmarked,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is fantastic because you can put him anywhere and everywhere you want him. Then
Yep.
that's
Like
nice.
in those trolls.
Yeah.
Then he also has his magic weapon. So he has the Viper's Staff, which is a magic weapon.
It's so random. This.
It gives him Killing Blow and also gives him a 5 wall save.
Don't think they were really.
Why that comes from a weapon,
Hang on,
I do
hang
not
on.
know.
Why does he not get the 5-up channels from the Viper Star?
Yep.
And the
And
5-up
the
wall
wall
save
save
from
from the side.
being able to see stuff coming right at him.
I feel like someone copy and pasted that into the wrong paragraph.
No, there you go. It says in it, glowing venom dripping from the fangs of the staff as they strike with formidable speed and power to defend their master and slay his enemies.
That's no.
Just no.
That is a crowbar. That's gone in.
And then his final magic item, which is actually quite a good one.
Yeah.
It is.
He has
very
a
good.
Shao Kane's...
Quite a good one.
It's very good.
Yeah, Shao Kane's teeth. So it's an arcane item, 1 use. If he incurs a miscast, he may choose to inflict its effects on a single friendly model within 12 inches instead of himself. This must be decided before the effects of the miscast have been rolled and may be done only once per game. If the subject of the miscast is not a wizard and power drain is rolled, then the effect is voided.
So here I'm like, that Chaos Chariot, I'll put it on him.
Yep.
Because he's never going to take more than 1 wound.
Nope.
And if he power drains, he doesn't care.
And if he gets
Although technically,
if when he base contact, he doesn't care.
He could Dimensional Cascade. He could get sucked into the realm of chaos.
He could.
Just this
You
poor-
you could still roll magical feedback, which is still hit. So,
Yeah. But, I mean, overall, good.
yeah.
Good.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what the best things to do. I was like Chaos Spawn.
Chaos Chariot's good. I mean, I'm thinking about
Anything
what you'd actually have in your
on its
army.
own.
Yeah, anything that's a loner.
To be honest, a dog,
I was about to say, tell you what, a Chaos
a Chaos
Warhound,
Warhound, a Marauder
dogs,
Horseman.
Marauder Horseman.
Do you really care? Not
Cheap
really.
stuff.
more the champion,
Yeah.
if he's running away.
Anything that's not a big
anything.
blocked up unit that's really going to care about it. Even
Yeah.
something like Trolls probably doesn't massively care a lot of the time
Really.
because they've got regen.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, he's actually really good.
yeah, he's good.
He's very good.
And I haven't just immediately searched for him on eBay and tried to find one to buy.
One upsetting thing is that he doesn't have Chaos Armor.
No,
He doesn't have any armor.
no.
His only save is that 5-up ward.
Which
It
is
is-
upsetting because the model is quite
Armoured.
clearly
Armoured.
armoured in Chaos Armour.
Yep.
And everything has Chaos Armor in a Chaos Army bar Marauders.
Yep.
But it means, Laura Metal can't hurt him.
Yeah, but Leadership 9 on a wizard,
Very
I love
good.
him.
Very
I
good.
really like him.
Yeah,
So,
I must
He is
admit.
very
good.
good. He is how many points?
325.
So not that
So
many.
he's cheaper
Like,
than
not too
he'll
many.
be cheaper than your regular Chaos Sorcerer.
He's
He's
actually,
only level 3, isn't it?
yeah.
Even then, he's still
So he's
cheaper.
90
Really?
points more than a regular Chaos Sorcerer.
Mm.
He's 90 points more.
Okay.
But for 90 points, I've got +1 weapon skill, +1 initiative,
Five up
+1
ward
leadership,
save,
5 up ward
Killing
save,
blow.
killing blow, channel on a 5,
Chucking off my miscast.
chucking off a
Chuck off
miscast.
miscast, reroll the characteristic
Yeah, I
tests.
think-
And Law of Heavens.
Access
Yeah.
to heaven. Yeah.
So I think
Well worth
I've
the
given him a
point.
2 for cost. You could
Yeah.
say I've been a bit harsh there and say
Yeah,
he could be
possibly.
exploitable for the 3. In which case he hits the magic 18.
Mm.
He's definitely in the mix, guys. He's a good choice.
Yeah, he is.
We quite like him.
On to his pet.
Yeah, Nightmare. So Nightmare,
His score is mad.
I gave him a separate entry because he acts as a separate unit.
Yeah.
When I first looked at them, I thought, oh, he's riding a spawn.
No.
I thought he was like Monstrous Cav,
No.
but then I realised really quickly that they're actually
Yeah.
2 separate things. He's 105 points, this bad boy. He does come out of your Lord slot. Again, I've used flanking to rate him because that's what we'd normally use for a
Yeah.
spawn. But he got 19 out of 24.
Oh my god.
How?
Well, we're gonna do it.
He has a lot of good rules.
He does. So, we get there with a 2 for the strength of his attacks. This is the drawback. He's got, he's only strength 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
4 for number of attacks. He's got D6 +1 and a stomp.
Yep.
Yeah.
So on his worst possible day, he would score
3.
3 on this.
Yeah.
He's going to score 4 most of
Yeah.
the time. He has got 4 for special rules.
We'll go those in a second.
This bad boy's got a lot of good special rules.
Really
guys.
good special
a lot
rules,
of good
yeah.
special rules. He's a 3 for his manoeuvrability. Again, he's actually quite manoeuvrable.
Yeah, he's a 2d6 random mover.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 for survivability. Good luck getting him off the table, particularly if you haven't got fire.
Yeah,
And then he comes up to finish with a 2 for cost. Because I think he's pretty good for those points, but probably because he's coming out my Lord slot, not really exploitable.
So he doesn't have a big list of rules. It's just a little tiny section down here.
Little tiny section
Let's have a
of
little
really
look what they
good
are.
rules.
Yeah. So yeah, his first rule is Shadowkin. Nightmare is a -1 to be hit with shooting attacks.
Phenomenal.
So tricky
Really
to get
good.
rid of, and you can make that -2
Yeah,
because
you can.
you've got Laura
Eyesharp
Heavens,
Lizard,
Eyesharp
obviously.
Lizard, potentially.
And then he's just got his regular list of special rules.
Yeah, let's
so
have a look at those.
Fear,
Situational.
Unbreakable.
Disgusting.
Lurch and Horror is your random movement because this is before they introduced random movement into the book. Flame and Appendices is your random
D6
attacks.
+1 attacks.
Regeneration 5, 3+.
3
3
plus.
plus.
Regen 3+, and then always strikes first.
Initiative 5?
Initiative 5. He's also leadership 10. I know he's unbreakable,
He's a
but
spawn.
He's Spawn.
If he's going to your law section, that means you have to be a general.
No, he's not a character. He's not Bone Ripper.
Ah!
he's a character,
We're not having
yeah.
Bone Ripper again.
But yeah, I mean, toughness 5, 3 wounds, 3 up regen,
What's his
-1 to
weapon
be
skill?
3.
-1 to be hit with
Okay.
shooting. His weapon skill's a bit poor, but
He's
the
not there-
ASF will help.
Yeah.
He's not there to kill. He's there to behold.
He's
Yeah.
unbreakable, he's pinned
Yeah.
something.
If he's not got flaming attacks, it will take a decent amount to get through.
Yeah, I mean, even something like a steam tank.
Steam Tank winning on 3s, 3 at regen.
How many wounds you got?
3.
3?
You take 2 rounds of combat at least.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
it, and
yeah.
that's 2 rounds of
That's
their
the steam
combat.
tank doing the
So
grind.
actually, it's potentially 4 rounds of combat. Really good.
Yeah.
Really like him.
Big fan.
Very cheeky. Just think that's cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
overall, it's 440 points to get the both of them.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad, actually.
Still, that's cheaper than what your sorcerer, your tooled up sorcerer law is going to be.
Yeah, he's going to be those sort of
Your
points,
tool
yeah.
sorcerer law is,
yeah,
but
yeah,
he's about
Sorcerers.
550.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. So yeah, good. Is what we're saying.
Very good.
And we'll finish our chaos characters then with Kazik.
Kazik.
Yeah.
No,
Kaz-
it's not Kazi, it's Kazk.
Yeah.
It's K-A-Y.
K-A-Y-Z-K.
Yeah.
Kazik.
Kazk.
Kazakh, the Befouled. There we go. He comes in with a competitive rating of 15 out of 24, so a little bit of a drop. But again, for a combat character, not bad.
Yeah, really.
3 for output, 3 for special rules, 1 for synergy, 1 for risk. You got to put them in. 4 for survivability though, very tough to kill.
Yeah.
3 for cost. So this one is a hero choice for your warriors of chaos armies.
And actually one that we are, I think, very likely to see this year at our events because we've had a few people ask about it.
Have we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited.
So he's a monstrous cavalry, and he's only 190 points, which is why he's got that 3 for cost.
Yeah.
Because he's toughness 5 with 2 wounds.
Yeah, it does only have 2 wounds. He's
That's-
only 2 wound
That's
monsters.
the kill. But let's talk about his survivability before we do the
Yeah.
cost. It makes a bit more sense. Sorry,
Yeah.
I've drifted there. Go on.
So as James said, toughness 5, he has chaos armor, shield, and he's mounted on his rock beast.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 up armor.
2 up armor save.
Yeah.
He's not the chaos knight 1 up armor save, but he
Because
has.
rock beasts aren't barded. It doesn't say anywhere that
No.
rock beasts are barded.
So but he has special rules regeneration 5+.
He does.
Yeah.
He does,
pretty
which
good.
is very good. He also has, I can't remember what the rule's called, but he also has,
Corrupted flesh.
thank you, corrupted flesh, which means any non-flaming attacks that roll to wound against him are -1 to wound. Very good.
Huge.
Really, really
Huge,
good.
because you can't target the mount separately because he is monstrous
He's
cat.
monstrous, yeah.
Can't be stomped all over.
Nope.
No.
Now the mount,
Has a stomp itself.
the mount does only do that at strength 4, and it does generate only 2 strength 4 attacks.
Yeah.
His initiative is pretty poor as well. He's only
Initiative
2.
2, so he's not
That
initiative.
is poor,
He's not the
actually.
initiative 6 of the Golden Hero.
Yeah, that is
He's
poor.
kept the web skill 7, and he's also got a lance.
Oh, does he have a lance?
He's got a lance.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
equipment: hand weapon, chaos armor, shield, lance.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, strength 7 on the charge
With
there.
4 attacks, which is 7.
4 weapons, skill
Yeah.
7 attacks.
Add in your
And they're poisoned.
yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Add in your Lore of Heavens.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to take both.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's actually pretty good. He's also not too expensive. The same
No,
points as
he's
Festus.
really not too expensive.
190, I think, is very good for him.
Mm.
For all of that output, for that points cost, which is why I've given him a 3 for exploitability. The other element here that's so good about him is the option for the Rot Knights.
Yes. Other special rules, just before we continue, other special rules is Fear, Will of Chaos doesn't exist, Eye of the Gods, Poison Attacks, and Mark and Nurgle.
So -1 to
Mark
be
Nurgle
hit,
as well.
really
Yeah,
good.
1 till 7.
And poison attacks we just discussed on the
So,
lines being particularly horrible.
As James said, we have the option of the Rot Knights though. So Chaos Knights with the Mark of Nurgle may be upgraded to ride Rot Beasts using the profile shown previously in place of the Chaos Steeds in a Warrior's Chaos army for 15 points each. If this option is chosen, the entire unit must be upgraded. The unit type becomes Monstrous Cav, and they have the Fear. They already had that, and Regen 5+.
They get Region 5+ as well.
They do lose a point of armour save though.
Yes,
They
'cause
gain
they're
the
not
region
barred.
though.
They do
But
gain
they
a
do gain a
region,
region.
which I would rather
And
have.
the second wound.
Yeah, so, and then it's
And
15,
second attack from
for
the steed.
15 points.
It's not
The
bad.
Chaos Knight's already overpriced.
How many points are we talking for a Chaos Knight?
40 points.
40.
Okay, so
So it's
it's 55 points.
No, it's not because you've got to pay for Marco Nurgle as well, which
Ah,
I
yeah.
want
It
to
is.
say is 5.
3.
Is it 3?
It's like, it's not.
Okay. So,
Mark Noble.
Worst case scenario, it's 5.
58.
Mark Noble Warriors 3 is 2 points.
I could then give him Ensorcer weapons though. I
Uh,
can't do that.
no, you can give him assault weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. I
would.
just would
yeah,
anyway.
I would. Yeah.
Now we would say for our events these have to go on 50 mils.
Yes.
50 mil squares because
Yeah,
they
'cause-
are now monstrous cavalry.
Yeah, and that's the sort of base that Kha'Zix came
well.
on.
The only issue being is that they never made models for Rot Knights.
No, they did not.
They only made the Kazakh
They
model,
only made him.
which is a bit upsetting. But
Yeah. So you got to do a bit of work to make your Rot Knights. But
I'm trying to think what you could use as the
it's
beast.
hard. I can't remember. One of the guys who asked questions about it did say what he was using, and I cannot for the life of me remember what he said.
I'd be looking at potentially something like looking at the artwork. I might be tempted by something like salamanders or razordons.
It looks like a flesh hound, like a plague or a
Or
flesh
like
hound.
a flesh hound, and then I'd plague it up. There'd definitely be green stuff working.
Yeah,
for me.
they're
Lots of plaguing it up. I'd drill some holes in it, and then make them into big
do you know
cock's
what would
wounds.
work with some green stuff and the old metal Rhinoxes?
I think they'd be a bit big.
'Cause they're
50 mil
really
square.
small.
Oh, you mean
The
the
old-
ones
the old-
from
the ones that are
G'd
like
up?
that long.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
never
yeah.
find them though,
No,
would you?
no.
Whereas the other stuff
But
that
they would
talks
be
about
useful for it.
would be workable.
Yeah.
Certainly flesh hounds, like you say, you could definitely work them. You're going to do the work, guys.
Yeah.
Do I think they're amazing? No, I think they're all right.
I think
I think they're okay.
They're better than a Knight and Knight.
That is a low bar though. Actually,
Yeah, to
as
be
well,
fair,
do they
that's
get
not.
poisoned attacks?
No.
No,
No.
they don't. So I'd definitely take the ensorcer weapons. Then.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I mean, he's going to be tough to deal with, and for a hero, and you know, you can get something cool. You can get a really cool new unit in your army if you do this guy, which I think is the thing that's really exciting about him in particular.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That's it. We're at the end.
Can I finally stop talking rules?
Yes.
Because
So
I've gone through so
You insisted on having the book.
you did.
Yeah.
So we have looked at
I was
all
hoping
of
that
the
you took
new options for Chaos here. That's the special characters and the units. We've waded through the slime of Nurgle. So it's time for us to look at a couple of sample army lists that we've put together using some of the options we discussed today. So, as ever, we are going to finish up with some sample army lists. For the units in today's deep dive, we've written 2 for you. One for the Empire and one for the Warriors of Chaos. Both are 2,500 points, and we've put them through the 2023 Triple Crown Wargaming GT comp system as well, because we're good to you like that. Hopefully, this will give you an idea of something you can do with some of these newer options. Well, they're quite old now, but new in terms of if you've not seen them before.
They are old, aren't they?
They are very
really
old.
So we're going to start with an Empire army. We're going to rock a Flying Death Wizard, because why not? And we're going to come in with only a -3 comp here. This list looks good for that, I would say. So the army is, of course, going to be led by Elspeth von Draken.
I don't know why she wouldn't
But
be.
crucially, is it the Carmine attack wing?
He is not the Carmine.
Disappointed.
Disappointed.
I'm not interested in moving.
I actually think it's dirtier.
I don't think James thought with the Carmine
No.
attack wing.
No, I hadn't. I was too busy looking at this option instead. I have got in the hero slot
12 years old, just if anyone's wondering.
12 years old.
12 years old.
I have got in the hero slot Captain of the Empire, Battle Standard Bearer, Enchanted Shield, Sword of Might, Full Plate Armour, and on a Barded Warhorse. And that's not an Enchanted Shield, it's a Charm Shield. So it's been written down wrong.
Was it not, Ellen?
It's Charm Shield.
It's Charm
So
Shield,
he's got
okay.
a 1-up armour save, and he ignores that first hit on a 2+, which is good when you're on a horse.
Yes.
I've got Luther Huss, who
Fucking
also comes on a horse. Going into core, I've got 40 Halberdiers with full command. I've got 12 Knights of the Inner Circle with full command and the Steel Standard. That is where my BSB and Mr. Huss are going to be hanging out. Into the special slot, I've got 2 units of 4 Demigryph Knights with Musicians. We are 1-up armour save heavy, high strength, high armour penetration heavy. In
It's
this
only
list.
going to get worse.
Yeah.
It is, because the list is rounded out by 2 steam tanks.
Obviously.
Naturally.
Now, there are concessions. I've got no scroll, big one.
You got +1 to dispel, though.
I haven't got a lot of
Yeah.
chaff clearance either.
No.
You got cannons.
I mean,
Chaff clearance, right?
You've got the steam guns.
What I have got is the ability to blow away the stuff that might kill Elspeth early.
Yeah.
Because I've got 2 cannons and I've got her spells. So
Yeah.
I'm going to target those things real fast.
Yeah, you've also got the demis, which are reasonably quick. You've got the knights, which are reasonably quick.
Knight's movement 8.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Slow thing
in your army is 40 out of this.
Yeah.
Oh, by a long way.
Which are just really
there
there
to make
to make core. And just to be a block unit, the full command gives me another banner, which means I've actually got quite a good score for fortitude.
5?
Well, yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah. Solid.
And it's going to do damage.
Mm.
So we're saying. So this is a big damage list, this one. And we're going to be using things like Soul Blight to really maximise that. Late game, Elspeth's probably going to go in to drop the Thunderstomps and the extra damage from the dragon.
He's trying to hit the Alpha Strike.
It's a real hard hitting list, this one, I would
Yeah.
suggest. I can't really say a lot else.
No,
Hordes concern me, but I do have Purple Sun. Hordes of
Yeah, there
Skaven
is
concern me a lot more.
Yeah.
Because they've got quite high.
I mean, still a third of them are dead.
Yeah, and you have still got 14 knights, 2 of which characters.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
You've
also got 2 steam tanks. Just throw a steam tank into it.
You've also got the breath weapon that you can use every turn.
Can't use it every time.
It's a breath weapon, it's one use.
I thought the hell one could be used every
No,
turn.
it's still a breath weapon.
That's upsetting.
You've got the steam tanks though for that, which is
Yeah.
very, very good sort of work for them. They're not going to die to that. You can soul blight them as well, so they're definitely not going to die to
No,
it.
it's tough.
A lot of one-up armor save, a lot of tough. You do have to be worried about Elspeth being sort of shot off quickly from artillery.
Yeah.
Like if they go first,
Just hide behind Demigryphs.
you hide it behind 2 Demigryphs, obviously.
Yeah, she's got to hide behind
Or a bit of terrain.
the 4x4 or the terrain.
Yeah.
So the 2x2,
2x2.
sorry. Yep, the little,
Hurrah, hurrah.
or just one unit in front of the other with
Yeah.
her behind. That's also good. Really stretches the play then because you'll have a gap between the
Really
units
small.
that you can
Yeah.
use as well. So
But yeah, solid. Really solid. Potentially very scary. You've still got a dragon on top of all of that, like
Yep.
you say, for sort of mid to late game. If Elspeth's not too worried about getting hit or hurt.
you've also got to kill both to get the points for her.
Yeah.
Which is massive.
Yeah. To be honest, against that Skaven, if she goes in with something, like she goes in with the demis or particularly the knights, I'd throw her into clan rats or Skaven slaves.
Yeah, probably.
She's got soul blight, so if she can pop them down to 2, toughness 2,
Oh, they're
doesn't
winning
matter. They're winning on
6s.
6s
As long as you've got something with champion
Sevens,
going
they
in.
can't wound her. If you drop
If
them down
you
to
drop them down,
strength 2,
yeah.
they can't actually wound her, can they?
Minus 1 to wound, yeah.
And this is what I
Spicy.
mean. She's really
You
spicy. in the side.
want to go in that point in time with something with a champion.
Probably, and
Yeah, probably.
I'm a bit light on champions. It is worth saying. My musos on the demis could become champions,
Possibly.
but I do like the
Possibly
extra
worth it.
maneuverability a muso gives them. So there's always a little bit of option in there. But the steam tanks for 250 points, they're just
Yeah,
so
well,
hard to
do you
look past.
Do you want to go for a Marienburg class landship?
I just can't see what I'd drop 50 points for.
Yeah, you're not over
100
on
points.
poor.
Well,
Well,
to
for
put a
two.
pair in,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair, yeah.
No.
Really, you're looking at like dropping Luther Huss.
And I don't really want to because he's good.
I mean, that's
Plus, he has a spell that makes me stubborn.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
So my list gets tougher that way as well.
They're going through all the trouble trying to spell all the death spells and mate, he's just stubborn.
Mate,
Yeah.
And don't forget, he's still got his
He's-
warrior
he's
priest
a
spells.
warrior priest,
So
yeah.
I can still reroll the wounds. I can still get flaming attacks,
Get a ward
which
save
is
on the
huge,
knights.
and I can still get a ward save on those
Yeah.
knights with a really good armor save to back it up.
Mm.
Very difficult to kill this army,
Yeah, no, I like it. I like
and he's going to throw a lot of nasty spells at you.
The more we talk about Elspeth, the more I want to use her.
Yeah,
You got to find her.
I do have to find
You
her.
have
I've got a dragon.
one. I need to get one.
I've got a dragon.
So
I've just got to find her.
just got to find her.
Can
Yeah.
say.
So let's move on now. From what I'm really excited about, probably trying to put together at some point, as is the Duke now. That
That's
was
something I'm really excited about.
yeah, and another -3 list. No Tamurkhan, unfortunately, because 2,500 points, he just
too
doesn't
many
fit.
points.
And also, if we're being really honest, competitively,
He's not a wizard. First of all,
He's not. a
He's
wizard,
not a
which is
wizard.
big.
it's harder to justify him, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this list is pretty good for a -3.
Yeah.
Our army's led by Saul the Faithless. We've gone on the Law of Heavens with him, obviously. We have got in the hero slot an Exalted Hero. He's Battle Standard Bearer. He has the Crown of Command, the Dragon Helm, the BSB of many hats. He has a Halberd. He's on a Barded Demonic Mount with the Mark of Nurgle. This guy is really tough to shift.
Yeah. 1 up, 2 up against Flaming, stubborn.
Free
-1
stuff
to be
is
hit.
5.
Yeah, it's hard to get rid of him.
Festus the Leech Lord to round out the heroes.
Obviously.
My boy, the good doctor.
Yeah.
Other
Then
TV shows are available.
core, I've got 2 Khorne Chaos Chariots. So Chaos Chariots and Michael Khorne.
Yep.
Gives me the no panic. Also gives me the extra attacks. Like that quite a lot.
Yeah.
23 Warriors of Chaos with full command. Halberds, shields, Mark of Nurgle. And I have got the standard of discipline on these guys. Now, there is an argument to say standard +1 movement could be better, but with Soul being leadership 9, if I drop him in there, I've got leadership 10.
Leadership 10
Which
general
is
as well.
hard to get for Chaos.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I like about that. In the special slot, I've got 10 trolls with additional hand weapons.
Why not?
Just good old-fashioned, not battle trolls. Sorry, guys, just regular ones, because I think they're brilliant. 380 points for that unit, ridiculously good.
So cheap.
34 up regen wounds. Mind blown. So 2 units of 5 Hellstriders because we've got to get some pluses in there. Also gives me chaff and chaff clearance. And then my rare slot I've packed with 2 Hell Cannons.
The double Hell Cannon.
Yeah. So I'm looking here and thinking this means that I can go forward, or I can try and use Comet and the Hell Cannons to push you on.
Yeah.
The Hell Cannons in this list will sit with the blocks, really. They'll be deployed right up the front.
Yeah.
They're not a
Almost
behind
like
one
a block
in my mind.
themselves.
Yeah, they'd be treated almost like a monster. They are, I mean, they are a monster,
yeah.
but in the middle gap.
Yeah.
I mean, they are terrifying trying Europe.
And that gives me the chance to either keep dragging them forward, unbreakable, big, tough monsters, or to leave them back and fire the cannon shots, and actually weirdly stand off, which you just can't do with a Chaos Army. But there is a lot in there. For a lot of armies, they just can't. They would have to come forward, particularly if you're on Comet.
It's too much risk.
Yeah.
To just sit off and hope the Hell Cannons
Strength
don't
5
hit.
bursts
Hope
as
the
well.
Comet doesn't
Channeling
come
the
down
McHugh
and
special
and-
comets.
Yeah, exactly.
Really different. Now it is a bit shorter of fortitude for those missions. It is worth pointing out it has only got 4,
Yeah.
but they are all going to be in one place.
Pretty much.
So you've got.
Well,
to
you-
kill them.
Well, you say that. There's an argument to put Sal in the Trolls.
Yeah, or to put the BSB in
Or
the
the
Trolls
BSB,
if you want to. There's a couple of options there. Both
as
are good.
As someone who has used the Festus and Warrior block many a time, it is a nightmare.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough to shift,
Yeah,
and when it's
very
stubborn, and you've got that BSB in the front rank taking up a good portion, you're probably going to get in some combats 2 or 3 ranks of guys that have to attack that BSB. He's weapon skill 7, -1 to hit. He's an absolute beast. He's not going to die.
No.
He's just not going to die.
They're going to be on 5s or 6s to hit. You might have Cursed Midnight Wind as well, so any of those hits may well have
They've
to
got
be
to take
re-rolled.
a fear test.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll definitely have access to Ice Shard Blizzard for another -1
Yeah,
to hit.
it's ridiculous.
Disgusting.
Really, really strong.
Yes.
Combos there really sell themselves.
You
That's
can also-
a tough chaos list.
You can also, if all the characters are in there, you can run them 6 wide and keep Sal in the second rank.
Yeah. Or Festus if you're worried about losing.
Or
him.
Festus, but does Festus have armour? Chaos armour?
No.
So he's
Neither
the same
of them do.
sort of thing as Sal.
But-
He is better safe, but you can get rid of flaming.
Yeah.
So you've got some thought process. in
And he
there.
can get his wings back
Yes,
with the
You can,
potions.
yeah.
Glove, glove.
Glub, glub, glub.
So I mean, there's a lot of options here, guys. Is what we're
Yeah.
saying. This is very very different, and I would suggest competitive if you've
I
got
would
those
like-
hell cannons, which unfortunately I don't, but you do.
But you have none of the special.
I don't have any stuff. You say that, I'm going to go home and buy 10 trolls now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, you really should.
buy 4 boxes.
You really
Yeah.
should.
That's all right. Then you've got the parts to take take the 2 remaining ones, bash that into a bigger Throg. Oh, you've got.
I've got Throg.
So.
I own a Throg.
How have you not got trolls when you own?
Yeah.
I can't even.
So I just wanted the Throg.
I can't deal. So that's it.
I Valkyr and Sigvald. I ain't used them.
Oh,
Yeah, but they're not very good.
Sigvald's ship 10.
Yeah.
Valkyr.
2 up armor and a regen.
Yeah, he's alright.
Valkyr is good. 1 up armor.
Oh, is it just 1?
His aura armor is 1 up. Yeah.
Is it?
No, he's 1 up.
I thought it was 2 up. Has he got a shield?
He's got a shield.
Oh, he's got a
He's got
shield.
the mirror shield, isn't
Yeah.
And regen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
regen 4. Yeah, 2 up and a regen 4 plus.
he? He's stupid.
He is stupid.
Leadership 10.
Leadership 10.
You
Yeah.
can't
But you can't re-roll it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I re-roll it.
We're,
Anyway,
we're digressing
I'll drag.
a lot.
Yeah. So that's it. We've made our way through the towns of the Empire and trekked far north into the Garden of Nurgle for today's deep dive. There are lots of really interesting and thematic choices in this supplement, with the occasional competitive gem and some absolutely beautiful models, I would say, to go with it.
And
There's
some fun times we had if you're taking a siege
Leap
drive.
Cold, gorgeous. Elspeth,
Elspeth,
Draken,
really nice.
gorgeous.
The Mammoth.
The Mammoth is a gorgeous model.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
no
land
doubt.
ship.
Yeah, he's a beautiful model. So and
And
great art. as
Tamurkhan
well.
himself was actually quite nice.
He's not. He's a great model.
Yeah.
He's not for me.
No.
You know what I mean. But I think he's a great model. There's
Yeah.
no doubt. So make sure you let us know, as ever, what you might try after watching today's deep dive.
Remember, regardless of scenario.
Yeah, regardless of scenario.
Regardless of scenario.
I feel like that might be a contender for our next slogan on a t-shirt.
Regardless of scenario. Regardless of any particular scenario, I think it's probably better.
Regardless of scenario, smash with pig.
Smash with pick. Yeah. So let us know on any of our social media platforms or below this video, whatever you like to do. If there's anything that you think, I'm definitely going to do that, or if you try it and you want to let us know, I look forward to seeing some of you using some of these exciting items at the upcoming GTs for 2023. And make sure you head back to the Night of the Realm Mustering Ground, where you can check out, well, all of our other exclusive content. We'll see you for, if you're watching these in order, the penultimate deep dive.
Yeah,
Penultimate?
next month.
Yeah, penultimate.
What's after it?
The other one.
The other one.
Thanks, guys.
I think we all knew that was coming, don't we?
I was expecting a specific answer there, but...
Well, I think that this
You'll
far...
have to wait and see, just like everyone at home.
This far in, you should know by now that you were never getting a particular answer. Regardless of the scenario.
End this video! End this video!
Good enough. Remember to tag your friends and like, subscribe and share. Then head over to triplecrownwargaming.com and become a Knight of the Realm today.
What are you doing, mate?
You alright?